It has been a while since we've had a tournament. It is pretty exciting, and they're off.
Yep.
I think the first thing that needs to be pointed out is the fact that Blue is obviously ahead by fractions of seconds right now. This is obviously rigged already.
Yeah, basically already won. Alright, so I guess if you haven't seen any Minish Cap runs yet, they use a Japanese version for basically only one reason, because the text is faster. The European version has similar glitches, or basically the same, but there's one thing at the end of the run where you actually lose a little bit of time, which I will point out when we get there. But text is the main time save for this game, which is why we use the Japanese version.
I still think one of the weirdest time savers between the two versions is the save and quits. It's I still think it's weird the fact that you can skip the menu when you load in the game. The menu on the English version, you have to actually sit there and watch it load in, whereas in the Japanese you can just skip straight to being able to hit the button and select your file.
Yeah, that's true. I think the European version also always starts on the language option on the file select menu.
Yeah, I wouldn't know. I avoid the European version like the plague.
Fair enough.
So this game's actually pretty interesting with the like text, because there's out of all the games I've played, it's one of the more interesting games with text because you can advance the text by hitting almost every single button. But not only can you advance the text with almost every single button, if you hold down the B button, it actually speeds up the text. So at the start of the game, I don't know if you guys saw it or not, but they actually changed the options. Well, I guess it was in Japanese, so you guys couldn't read it anyway. But they changed the text speed option, so you got slow, medium, or fast. So they get to change that. And then by holding down the B button, it actually speeds up the text anyway. So this game has a lot of different speeds of text.
Yeah, the first minutes of the run it's just spinning the control stick and holding B, basically.
Yeah, it's weird that, this game allows you to skip text by even putting in, D-pad or analog commands. Most games you have to hit like A or B. As I said, this game is weird. Literally, I think like maybe one button doesn't skip text. I've actually never hit the start button before, so I'm not really sure about that.
I don't think the start button advances text. I know R does. Probably L too. I've never tried L though.
I don't think it does. I think I've actually tried L. I'm pretty sure L doesn't. I'm pretty sure R does.
R does.
I've never tried start.
I haven't tried start either. Not that it matters, but...
Are you kidding me? Not that it matters, man. You gotta hit every button possible. You gotta save those frames.
Please.
So this game's actually really interesting. On the Japanese version, you can actually soft lock right there.
Is it JP only?
I think it's JP only. I've only ever heard and seen it happen on JP. I actually don't even know the reason why the soft lock happens either.
Well, because this game is good.
Yeah, that's exactly why.
It happens if you roll on the same frame when the cutscene starts, for some reason. You can also soft lock with the shield. You don't have to roll. If you use the shield on the same frame the cutscene starts, it also soft locks.
Oh, that's awesome.
The shield has actually a glitch in this game.
That was actually, I kid you not, dude, that was the thing. I've never had it happen to me. I was swearing up and down right before my AGDQ run that it was going to happen. I was telling everybody that would listen, I was like, watch, man, I've never had this glitch happen. I'm going to soft lock the game.
Just be careful and you won't soft lock. Easy.
Be careful, what are you talking about? This is a speed run. You can't be careful. You got to go as fast as possible.
Please.
There's not a whole lot to commentate. This is the worst thing about this game. The first 10 minutes is just a bunch of rolling and text. In about 10 minutes, they will enter the first dungeon. And before that, they kill two enemies.
10 minutes.
Whoa, hey. I'm talking about myself here.
Sub 10 is the goal for this game. Sub 10 entering Deep Shrine.
I'm pretty sure that's not impossible. I've never seen it happen.
Please. But yeah, right now there isn't really much to say. It's just getting the map, the sword, and later getting Eslo. Right now only really movement is important and tech smashing. I didn't actually see when they got the map. Usually you want to get the map at like 535. 534 would be very good, but you never really get that for some reason.
And you can, if you guys are really paying attention, you can tell how well they're doing with their rolls when they have like chain rolls where they're just heading straight down or something like that. If you pay attention to the R button, if like the text barely even pops up or doesn't pop up at all, that means they're hitting it like as close to frame perfect as possible. I can't do that though. My rolling's horrible.
Most of the time that's not that important though. It only depends on in a few areas.
Yeah,
areas you can save a few frames with it. Or Infinity is already trying to save Eslo. Ace is now also starting the cutscene. A little bit of the lead already, but it doesn't really matter too much because the beginning of the game is pretty straightforward. Late game is where people lose most of the time in runs.
Yeah, and there's a lot of things in this game that can really cost you a lot of time. So,
well, a few things, but not that much time.
You apparently haven't seen me play this game then.
Infinity gets a 736 Eslo. Damn. That's not gonna be sub 10.
No, well, Ace got a 741, 742, which is not too bad of times for Eslo.
No, I mean these are new runners. They haven't been running this game for a long time, so.
So you guys are seeing the Eslo cutscene where they go into Minish. There, you have to go Minish form multiple times throughout this game, but each time you do it on a different platform, you have to watch the cutscene. After you do it on a platform already, then you can skip it the next time you do it on that one.
I haven't been running this game to death, please, Mike.
So now they just gotta roll up, talk to a guy, tell him to, go get the Jabbernut, they'll get that, then they talk to another guy, he shows them where all the elements are, then they finally get to the dungeon. We're almost there, guys, almost there.
The exciting part of the run is almost over.
Yeah. See, this is how I want to learn a language. I don't understand why people will put time and effort into learning a language. I just look for, random beans I can pick up that just magically make me be able to speak the language.
The strats. no sub-10s today, but Infinity has now entered the dungeon 10:05. Oh, I think he has reset his timer.
Yeah, wonder what that was about. Oh, well, hopefully
Well.
Ace doesn't do it and we can just kind of gauge it off Ace.
Yeah. Alright, so this dungeon, there's actually not too much to say about this dungeon. It's basically just movement. There are not a lot of strats for this dungeon. It's basically just counting rolls, and for one room specifically, which I will point out when we get there, there's a little bit of a strat for a fight, but we'll see when we get there.
So right there, you guys just saw Blue roll up the stairs, and then he actually walked up the last little bit. Rolling's obviously faster in this game, that's why they're doing it. But if you roll into an Eslo cutscene, it actually takes longer for him to start talking to you. So you'll see that happen multiple times throughout the game, where they'll take a few steps to activate a cutscene instead of rolling into it.
This is the only exception, actually. The Eslo text in the barrel, you can just roll into it and it won't take longer than for some reason. That's, I don't know why, but that one is different.
Obviously, because Eslo just does whatever he wants, you know?
Yeah, basically. Damn, Infinity already got a rupee. Oh, Ace got two. Didn't even notice.
So yeah, sadly, this game doesn't really get too exciting until close to an hour in. Most of it's just pretty straightforward. If you guys have ever played this game, then you're not going to see anything too amazing until the third dungeon.
Yeah, most of the early game is just movement and a few strats for fights. In this room you can also notice the invincibility frames you get from rolling, which is used quite a lot throughout the run.
Poor Blue, he's got a bad slick over.
Yeah, really bad RNG.
See, I always go full yellow in that room, and I got a bad setup. I just roll through him, and pretty much what Ace just did, I'd be at like 3/4 the heart, just like he is.
Took a lot of damage though. So
Well,
this time you just roll up and hit the sword, or slash the sword 3 times to kill that guy really quickly. That's a little bit of a strat for this room.
Well, Ace got lucky and got a heart. Doesn't have to waste time picking up a pot now,
Yeah.
which is good.
Alright, Infinity's already fighting Matter Pillar. A
So-
very nice boss.
Yeah, the main goal here is not to attack too quickly. After you hit his nose, it'll slowly work towards his tail, where he turns white, gray, whatever. A lot of times, especially people that are new to this game, they'll attack right there like Ace just did. If you attack just right as it becomes visible, it's actually still invulnerable, so you'll bounce off of him, and more than likely end up getting a 3 cycle. Yeah, like Ace just
and
did.
it's got a free cycle. That's too bad.
This game just isn't quick enough for us speedrunners, man.
Yeah, need to slow down. And now it's time for lily pad action.
Easily the worst part of the entire game, the lily pads.
Most of the lily pad sections aren't too bad because you can just there are certain setups. Like for this one, for example, you use the gust jar 7 times to the left, twice down, and then to the left again. But some of them are a little bit tricky.
So this is another interesting. Oh wow! Look at Blue.
He got a blue
Yeah.
rupee. He could use the faster route now.
I wonder if he will though. I wonder if he knows it. I
don't
don't
know if he knows about it.
So the room that Blue just left, that's another interesting room because that pot
Very
that he put on that switch, for some reason you had to come back through that room. He will here in a second. Sometimes that pot just won't be there. So the only thing you can do is save and quit out of the dungeon to fix it, or I think you might be able to go around.
You can just leave the screen. It will come
Okay,
back.
yeah, that's right.
Re-enter the screen, but still, I have no idea why that happens sometimes.
Yeah.
I actually got it yesterday during a practice run.
I've had it, I think, one time out of all the times I've played this game, so I
Yeah,
actually have no idea how to react to it.
It's only happened to me 3 times. I have no idea why it happens sometimes.
This game just likes to troll, that's the issue. It does whatever it wants, man. Not just Eslo, even pots.
It's pretty random, yeah.
So it's going to be cool though because Ace is still at 20 rupees, so we have a possibility of seeing 2 different rupee routes on the very first race for the tournament.
Maybe. I don't know if Infinity knows about the... he's gonna get the chest. Too bad. He doesn't know about the other routes.
So since he's getting this, might as well talk about the other route. If you get lucky, if you get lucky enough to get, actually, like I said, I don't know the route very well, but I know if you get lucky enough to get a few extra rupees going up Mount Crenel, you can take an alternate path to get the amount of rupees you need. You probably can answer this better.
Yeah, you can skip if you get a blue rupee in this dungeon. You can skip the chest with the red rupee that Ace will get in just a second, and Infinity has already gotten. And you can get a few blue rupees at the beginning of Mount Crenel instead, which is, I believe, 9 seconds faster, something like that.
Yeah, something around 9.
I've never gotten that in a run before. Blue rupee drops are pretty rare.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever gotten one, or like if I did, it was way before we even knew about the alternate rupee route. So we got our first boss fight here, Green Shoe. He's a really simple boss. Just use the Gust Jar to suck up his slime until his base gets so small that he just topples over.
Yeah, for his first phase, you don't want him to jump. Infinity actually got the jump, which is a little bit slower. Maybe Ace won't get the jump. But then the last phase, he can be a bit random and either jump 5 times or just charge at you. You don't want the jumps because they're really slow.
And he's
because you can't attack him when he's in the air.
And he's an interesting boss too because it's RNG. If you watch Blue, like he's just swinging away. You only have to hit him, if I recall, 4 times. But like, yeah, he doesn't stand up any quicker if you just hit him 4. So, if perfect RNG, you hit him 4 times and he stands right up. Bad RNG, you hit him. I think the max is like 9 times, and there's the 5 extra hits do no damage at all.
They're just bad RNG basically.
That's like the worst kind of troll too. Like you don't even actually realize that you're doing.
I wonder why they programmed it like that. It doesn't make sense.
Blue got the jump right after he finished, sucking up all of the goop. That sucks.
Ace also got the 5 jump. So no good RNG for those guys. A little bit of a neat fact, I guess, about this boss. When he explodes there's actually one frame where you can use an item. It doesn't really make any sense or help in any way, but there's one frame where you can use an item. You can also pick up a pot during that one frame. And if the pot drops an item, it will disappear when Link grabs the elements. I have no idea why, but...
Dude, I'm telling you, it's because this game does whatever it wants.
Yeah, basically.
Alright, so now they're gonna start heading towards Mount Crenel, which is the very first instance in the game where you have a possibility of dying. It's pretty
well,
RNG.
Besides, you can die in the Slug room too, but Mount Crenel is pretty dangerous.
Yeah. So, since they're picking up the bombs, might as well talk about the bombs in the game. There's actually 3 different timers for the bomb. If you just place a bomb and let it sit there, it's got I can't remember the numbers. It's been a while, but it's got so many frames. If you pick up a bomb, if you place a bomb and instantly pick it up, it actually cuts the amount of frames down by like 30 or something like that. And then we have a roll lift where it's right as you hit a roll, you also place a bomb, and you'll be able to, if they actually try it, you'll be able to tell if it works or not because a bomb will shoot out of Link and just go up in the air.
Yeah, it
while
will
he's
bounce a
roll.
little bit.
Yeah. And then that's actually like 190 frames or something like that, which is the shortest by like 16 frames or something like that compared to just the instant pickup. So roll lifting is the fastest way to get bombs to explode in the game.
It's also frame perfect, so you won't get it most of the time.
Yeah, and also on top of that, like you can only do it while going a certain direction or something weird. Like I remember reading the information about it. And
it's a little bit weird, yeah.
I can only ever do it while going up or down. Going down's the easiest.
Yeah, for some reason going down is the easiest. I don't know why.
So, what Blue just did, and we're about to see Ace, yeah. After Hurdy talks to you, he wants you to fuse a kinstone with him. He teaches you about fusing kinstones, and you're supposed to actually fuse the kinstone with him. But if you just save and quit out, it's actually faster than fusing with him, because if you fuse, it has to show this long animation about the kinstones fusing and what it shows on the map. We know what it unlocks, so just save and quit there to get around Hurdy-Gurdy.
And to actually get to Mount Crenel, you need to talk to this guard and show him the spin attack, which the spin attack impresses him so much that he will just let you go through for some reason.
Wait, that's...
I always found that a little bit silly.
Really? I'm pretty sure that's how people get into the White House. They just walk up to people and they're like, "Okay, you're gonna have to shift your spin attack." Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's how like top level security works.
Basically.
So they both got pretty lucky on their rolls up. After you talk to that guy and you get the spin attack while rolling up right there through the middle of the market, sometimes you can run into the mailman and then run into him again as you're crossing the bridge. He can troll you pretty bad.
The mailman is a pretty nice person in this game.
Yeah. I mean, he's delivering the mail. Of course he's a nice person. So now we're heading up Mount Crenel, and you'll see plenty of bottles of water. Then at the very base of it, you have to put water on that plant to get it to grow. And then Blue's getting ready to grab the special water. I can't remember what the actual name of it is, but it's green water and...
Is it spring water?
Maybe. It's been so long since I've played the English version.
I've never played the English version.
Oh, really? You've never played the English version?
Yeah, only German and Japanese.
Oh, wow. Alright, so there's, like I was saying earlier, with every platform that you step on, you have to watch the animation again. So you'll end up having to watch one or two more of those. I think it's two.
I think it's one in the Pegasus, in the Boots house, and...
I think it is just the Pegasus Boots one.
I think so.
Which is really weird that they make you watch it that many times, and it's not different. I mean, obviously the inside is different because, you know, but I guess that's what it is. They just wanted everybody to really appreciate the time that they spent on the inside of all these different things.
So pretty. And while climbing Mount Crenel, you actually get a few rupees for a little bit later. So, I don't know if you saw Infinity get the 20 rupees. You will see Ace get them in a few seconds. There's a red rupee where you can use a vine to get them, but you can just use your sword and get them very quickly.
And we're about ready to see Blue grab the seed. You can only grab it while you Minish. And then that's the whole purpose of having the green water. The seed will only grow in the green water, so you can't just have a regular jar of water.
And the pestos on the screen are really nice.
Oh yeah, well, pestos are, you know, the nicest enemy in this game, so of course they're nice.
If they hit you, you will drop the seed, and they won't let go of you. If they hit you once, they will hit you like 3 times until you kill them. So you have to pause, switch your items around, and it loses a lot of time if you get bad RNG there.
Wow, so according to Pedal Power Luigi, it's Mount Crenel mineral water in US and Crenel hot spring water in EU.
Hot spring water, do you?
Why can't, like, it just be one name? I don't understand why it has to be a different name for every version. What's the matter?
I have no idea.
So here's an interesting little, I don't even know if to call it a glitch or not, but
The Guster is just OP.
yeah, the mushroom's actually on a higher level than the where Link was standing, but for some reason the Gustar still pulls the mushroom and grabs it, so that saves having to bomb the, like, if you're supposed to go straight across the bridge and just bomb the wall there, and then go into, like, a little dungeon area. But it just saves going around that. I've never timed it. It doesn't save a whole lot of time, but it is, time save.
It is a little bit faster. But yeah, the Gustar actually ignores quite a lot of layers for some reason. This is the only real use for it, though, unfortunately. Because this game is very well programmed, and the layout of it is not good for glitches.
So this is the reason why Mount Crenel can be such a pain in the neck.
Oh, Infinity actually gets the fairy, or the heart, rather.
That's not too bad. I mean, he was at 2 hearts, so I don't really blame him too much, because I've died with like 3 hearts before going up this thing. These rocks are the hardest hitting enemy you come across right at the start of the game. Everything is hidden for like a quarter heart at this point in time. The rocks hit for half a heart, so they really, really do damage, and you can't really avoid them.
Yeah, and they are RNG too.
Yeah, you move up this wall way too slow to actually be able to avoid them. So you just pretty much keep going up the wall and accept whatever you get hit by.
No P-Hetro.
Thank goodness, man. That's always the worst.
Yeah, you lose a lot of time to that if you pull the mushroom and then the P-Hat hits you. Because you won't make it over there.
So we've talked about rupees a decent bit already, so we might as well actually explain what we need the rupees for. We need a total of, I'm trying to actually do the math in my head, it's 20, 40, and 50.
50, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, so the first 20... we should probably speedrun this game sometime. The first 20 was to buy the bottle, which they already did that. The next 40 was to buy the grip ring, which they already bought that as well. That's how Ace is currently climbing up the wall. The next 50, which they'll end up getting to 60. And
yeah, there's a chest that gives you 50 rupees, and right now they have wait, why do you have 60?
You'll get
Probably.
No, it is 60, isn't it? You'll gain, yeah, because you'll grab the 50 rupee and then the 20 rupee from the jar.
Oh yeah, right, the 20 rupees. I forgot about those.
Don't know why I was thinking it was 50, but yeah, it's 60.
I don't know either.
You shouldn't trust me, man. Come on. But they'll grab a here in a second. You'll see Blue grab a jar and toss it. No, I don't. But Blue will grab a jar and toss it away, and there'll be a 20 rupee in there. And then while they're in the next dungeon, they'll grab a 50 rupee chest. Farm rupees where?
Where the pot is in just a second. I'm pretty sure you can just leave the cave and then re-enter it again to get another 20 rupees. So here Infinity will get the 20 rupee pot, and I'm pretty sure you can farm those.
I don't know, the only rupees I've ever farmed in the game is the 20 right outside Link's house at the moment.
Yeah. You can actually get 2 red rupees out of that one spot for some reason.
Really? I did not know that.
Yeah, there are 2 different values, I guess it has. One for the red rupee drop, and then another one for random drop.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. It's TMC. It does what it wants. So hopefully none of them pulls a Tokyo boy and leaves their sword behind.
Did you actually do that?
No, okay, Tokyo Boy was actually doing a tutorial for this game. That's what makes it so much better. He was doing a tutorial video for this game, and he finished up Cave of Flames, and he just went all the way down to the bottom of Mount Crenel. And he's like, okay, what's wrong here? And like, cause everybody in chat was just yelling about his sword. He got all the way to the bottom, he's like, oh no, and I was in there, I was just losing it. It was the greatest tutorial video ever.
Sick. I didn't know about that.
Yeah, it was too funny.
I don't know what. Oh, Ace is getting a. Or trying to get a heart. Hope he doesn't die on Mount Crenel.
He's being really cautious. Just a second ago, he was walking around instead of rolling through.
Alright, so Infinity is in Cave of Flames now. Once again, this is not one of the most interesting dungeons in the game. Only the mini-boss fight is kind of interesting. But for this dungeon, once again, movement really matters, and nothing else really. You get a few rupees in here, but that's basically it. A few rooms can be pretty trolly though, because of RNG stuff.
Yeah, the biggest rooms for RNG is the Helmet Swords. The Helmet Swords can go so well, or they can take you like 7.
Yeah.
It seems like 7 minutes just messing with them.
They're really annoying sometimes. Let's see if Infinity actually slashes the bomb here. Oh, the pot hit it. Oh, he was going to slash him anyway. Alright. This is just a little bit safer for later, because you have to leave the room again and use that way to leave it. And the bomb sometimes trolls you, which can be pretty annoying.
Blue actually got a really good fight. He had 3 of them lined up.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
He got a little too quick though, going towards the top one, so he didn't kill the bottom one. And it would have been really, really good if he would have killed the bottom one, because that would have been like a perfect Helmasaur fight.
Yeah. Impossible.
Yeah.
Alright, let's see if Infinity rolls on these bricks. He doesn't, damn. No risky strats. You can actually roll on those and not fall off, because those bricks are just very well programmed.
Well, we just saw him roll right there. They're really weird how they work, because like if you notice, he rolled, and right as he hit the edge of the thing, it just completely stopped his movement.
Even if you roll in the middle of it, sometimes it will just stop your momentum. Sometimes I just spam R on those rocks and nothing happens really.
Yeah, they're really weird platforms. I want to know how they program them to do that. So we see Blue pick up his 50, so he's got all the rupees he needs for the rest of the game now.
Yeah, it's kind of sad that you need a lot of rupees at the beginning of the game, because at the beginning of the game you can't really get any rupees anywhere, at least not any fast rupees. You have to open chests or get out of your way a little bit. But later on there are a lot of ways to get rupees very fast.
Yeah, it's really weird the fact that 90% you only need, you need so few rupees, but it's just right there at the start. I've been wanting to find a better rupee route since I started running this game. I still hate the rupee route. I think it can be better.
But there are no rupees in this game at the beginning, so...
Yeah. And Jay Coper, no, the winner does not get 10,000. The winner gets to cuddle with me.
Practice now.
Toads was actually really, really excited when he heard about this.
I am. I'm super excited about that.
Alright, so we get to see the first mini-boss fight in the game, which it's a god tier fight because this is my strategy. I gotta shout-outs to Troz. Dude, I don't speedrun this game anymore, man. I gotta get it in there when I can.
Infinity actually got a pretty good fight. He only didn't hit the last tube with the spin attack. Well, he hit him, but he only stunned him. You can also kill him with the same spin attack, which is a little bit faster. But still, that fight was pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you're not, you don't mess it up right off the start, or you're not bouncing them all over the place, Even if you get a stun or two off, I mean, it's still going to be quicker than the typical fight.
Yeah, there are a few different threats for that mini boss fight. I actually used to use 2 bombs or 3 bombs, which is a little bit slower and actually a lot more difficult than just doing the spin attack, so I don't know why people actually use that strat.
When I first started speedrunning this game, the strategy's taken, that fight right there, it's changed so much from when I first started, because it was 3 bombs, and then it got moved down to 2 bombs.
Yeah.
And I kept on moving the amount of bombs that we used down slowly by slowly, until I eventually got down to a 0 bomb strat, which is good because that saves us having to pick up another set of bombs later on in the game.
And it's faster anyway to just not use
Yeah.
Unless you're the Taz and you can actually use cool roll lifts there. But we're not Tazes.
Says you. Have you not seen me play this game?
Please. I haven't, because you never run this game.
Yeah. Dude, that's
That's fake.
AGDQ killed my spirit.
Infinity got a good rollerblade room so far. Yeah, that looks pretty good. This room can also be very trolly. But there is a little bit of a setup for it to hit the 3 rollerblades at the beginning. So it's not too bad if you practice it a little bit. Not too much RNG.
Well, Ace is getting ready to do his mini boss. Let's see how well he does there.
He's actually going to get the heart piece.
I don't blame him. He's at
Yeah,
quarter heart.
I didn't even notice. Close one. Oh, he uses the Gustra to align. That's not really necessary, but it can help.
He messed it up too, but
Yeah.
I think he accidentally took a step when he landed. Certainly, Chaos Knight used to run this game for a little bit, and he found that if you Gust Jar after walking to the top, it puts you on the exact frame you need to be to land a triple spin attack on the choose to the left. But I advise people not to do it because it's slower.
It's not
for
necessary.
one. Yeah, and 2, you don't have to land the triple kill on the ones on the left. As long as you land the kill on the left middle and the bottom left, you have enough time to kill the top left and then do your spin attack still. So you don't have to get the triple kill, it's just for swag points. If you don't feel comfortable getting the triple kill, just get the kill on the bottom 2, and then you're good. Oh, my bad, Wilzo. I thought it was Chaos Knight.
Wow, wrong information.
Man, I'm done. Somebody else want to commentate? I'm done. See, this is the exact reason, because a few people asked me before AGDQ if I was going to say the information, like who got it, and I kept on saying no because I didn't want to be wrong. I didn't want to be like, at AGDQ, I'm like, yeah, blah blah blah, found this, and I come home and everybody's like, dude, you're an idiot. This person found it. So that's the reason I didn't say any names at AGDQ.
It's difficult to say though.
Yes, this is the first race.
Alright, Infinity is about to fight the boss now. It's actually a pretty easy boss. The only thing you have to watch out for is the very beginning. Maybe Infinity will get the quick hit. We'll see. It's a little bit of a safer strat. You can hit him a little bit faster than that, but you want it to be safe, I guess.
Yeah, you can hit him before he shoots a flame out. The issue with that, though, is I don't know how many times I've shot it too soon. If you, if you shoot too soon, you end up hitting his shell before it becomes actually attackable, so you just hit an invulnerable shell and it doesn't flip. So that actually costs you more time than if you would just wait a little bit.
And because using the cane actually takes a bit, he will shoot a flame at you, and if you shoot it at just the wrong frame, I guess, the flame will actually hit you, which loses you a lot of time. Can be really annoying.
No. Blue. He should still be able to get enough hits in.
I hope so. For each phase you need 8 hits, except for the last one. You only need 5 for that one for some reason. Doesn't really make sense, does it?
Nothing about this game makes sense.
Yeah, and if you don't get those 8 hits, he will just not trigger the next phase and give you a second chance, I guess. You don't have to hit him another 8 times then, though. Just the amount that's missing. Infinity is using an interesting strat. He's just staying at the top of the screen.
I hate this this death right here.
Yeah, it takes forever.
I used to actually have it timed because I wanted to know like what time I was going to get, because I always wanted to get like, you know, sub 40 and everything. So after the kill happened, I'd look at my time real quick, and I think it's like 20 seconds.
I think it's 20, yeah.
Yeah, so I'd always add that to my time and be like, yeah, I wasn't even close to sub 40.
It takes forever. It's ridiculous. Alright,
Yeah.
Infinity's not forgetting the sword.
That would have been an interesting way for him to catch back up.
Definitely.
To anybody watching, it might look like, oh, he accidentally hit the other tornado. It might look like blue is really far ahead right now, and there's no way Ace can catch up. I mean, it shouldn't happen, but later on you can soft the game, and that costs quite a bit.
Very easily.
Yeah.
You can also die very easily in the later dungeons.
Yes, I mean, there's still a possibility Ace can catch up.
And the last boss is also ridiculous, so...
What? Come on, that's not true.
Please. Don't look at my TV.
There's shrines built to that boss because how nice he is.
So sad.
So we'll see blue here. He is going to grab a bottle of water and then run over to hit that stone. That stone allows you to warp to it after you get the Ocarina. It's the only one in the entire game that we actually activate for any percent. And that bottle of water won't be used for quite a while because it gets used after the 3rd dungeon. So he's going to be holding on to that in his inventory for a good bit. Hopefully he doesn't drop it. I've seen so many people do that after.
Yeah.
Because right now he's going into like the shrine or whatever inside Hyrule, and while you're text mashing, you're just hitting every button you possibly can to speed it up. So I've seen a lot of people accidentally dump out the water while text mashing. Of course, I've never done that. Side glance. I'm pretty sure everybody has done that at least once while playing this game.
I don't think I have, but I have definitely
Toads, come on.
putting the water on fire.
Oh, nice.
It's probably even worse.
Yeah, I know a lot of people actually used to, after they got the water, they were so concerned they'd dump it, they'd actually switch to something else, which, you know, of course wastes your time because you're doing a start screen for no reason.
This is the very first Minish Cup tournament. Blue Danish.
Can somebody ban Mike Sky from chat? I don't understand. People refuse to just let that go, man. That poor sign.
I will point it out later. Don't you worry.
Why can't people just forget about that?
Because it happened.
Alright, so Ace just finished up his fight. It's gonna be about a 44-20 or 44-37.
It's quite a bit behind now.
Yeah.
Though Softlock can change everything. So Infinity is now fighting 2 things, Moblins. And there are a lot of different strats for that fight as well. And none of those strats are consistent, really. I always fail it a little bit. I always lose a few frames here. Actually, that's a pretty good fight. That's better than most of my fights.
Yeah, he had a really good fight. When I first started speedrunning this, the strategy for it was to do a spin attack, which was crazy because it was almost frame perfect. Because you have to,
it's pretty precise.
yeah, you have to activate the charge for the spin right as you get out of the chat, which means you have to be almost frame perfect with it. And then you also have to manipulate them just enough where they don't go run straight across. Because if they do, it makes it even harder. You want them to take like a tiny step down. Yeah, so we all stopped doing that strat because it was way too hard. We all suck.
Basically. There are a lot of strats that look pretty cool too, because of the way you manipulate the moblin's movement. But I don't know. All of the strats are just way too difficult.
I don't know why, but I picture Troz and Toads with the suits on. Well, yeah, because we're wearing suits.
Obviously.
I mean, I'm obviously not sitting here wearing almost nothing because it's too hot in my room. I'm obviously wearing a suit.
It's not like 3 AM here, so obviously I'm wearing a suit.
So now we get to watch Blue have a bunch of annoying cutscenes.
More cutscenes, yeah. This is basically the last big cutscene, though, in the game.
Yeah, which is good, but it's also probably the most annoying cutscene because it seems like this one goes on forever.
Yeah. The thing about Minish Cap cutscenes is that you can't really do anything during it. You can't like drink something, for example, because you have to constantly hold down B and spin the control stick. So it's a little bit annoying. You can't like relax or anything.
Uh-oh, Ace froze.
Uh-oh. That's a good frame, though.
Yeah, it's actually a pretty cool looking screen he's got there, right as the thing blew up.
Intended.
Maybe that's just how, like, maybe he actually knows about wrong words.
So Infinity here is reading that sign, which triggers the Pegasus Boots quest, and Atros is known for slashing that sign, which means that he always has to leave the screen and re-enter it. Because you have to read the sign to trigger the cutscene, not the cutscene, the Boots quest.
One time. It happened one time.
One time.
That's not good. It looks like Ace might have disconnected.
Damn. By the way, something interesting about reading signs, actually, is there was one runner called Xenops who accidentally emptied the bottle in front of the sign, but then he read the sign, and after he advanced the text, he noticed that the water was still in the bottle, which made me interested in why that actually happened. So I tried to research it, and it turns out that if you do that, if you empty the bottle and then read the sign and still have the water in the bottle, for example, you're actually immune to hitboxes until you roll again, which is pretty interesting.
I did not know that. I knew he posted that in Discord.
Yeah, I researched
yesterday,
that.
and that's pretty unique.
You can also use that actually in the next dungeon to save 1 second.
Well, obviously they're going to do it then because we're speedrunners. We're all about
I don't
saving that
think
1
they
second.
actually know about it. I think I'm the only one who has done it in a run.
See, this is the issue. This is the reason why this guy has world record, because he keeps all of these strats to himself. Everybody
Not
else
really.
shares, and it's a giant community thing.
Hey,
Toad's
my
always
PB
holding
doesn't
on to
even
strats.
have that strat in it, please. But yeah, it is pretty precise, and I mean, you can do it. You save 1 second, you save half a heart of damage. So it is worth it, because you don't have to get another heart if you have enough hearts. So it can save more than just a second. Potentially like 2.5 seconds, but... Yeah, I probably should make a video or something. Just to explain what actually happens there.
Oh, Ace messed up the Moblin fight. I don't think he walked down quick enough, so they ran straight across. So earlier when Toads was talking about the sign that you have to read it, the only reason you have to read that sign is to activate the Boots quest. You're technically, like, what the game wants you to do is go up into the marsh, and when you walk in the, all that crap, you'll start sinking down, and then you'll hit like an text screen, or if you just go to the left, you'll hit it. And then it'll tell you about like how you need the Pegasus boots. But if you just read the sign, it's less distance to travel, so you can go straight. You can start this quest right away. Which is good too, because that allows us to skip another Eslo text. Because, you know, as many Eslo texts as we can skip, the better.
Definitely.
So there's the other reason we needed rupees. The third reason we need that mushroom to wake up the cobbler so he can finish making the shoes. Which, I mean, something terrifying about that guy, because he's just sitting there working on shoes and then he just passes out. Like, I've never went to sleep like that before. If I'm busy doing something, I've never just slammed my face down on the desk and just passed out.
I think there's actually a reason why he's asleep, but I forgot. I think the Minish tell you why. Maybe? I can't remember.
Yeah, like I said, it's just been way too long since I played this game in English. And I never really read all the text anyway, so...
Wow, you're one of those people.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. Alright, so Infinity is now entering this area, and there's actually an Eslo text there, but he rolled down into the water thing. What is it called?
Marsh? That's what Marsh.
Yeah, something like that. So you can just skip the Eslo text there. And he's also about to fight the first Darknet in the game. For this one there is a strat. Maybe he will get good RNG. He didn't, of course not. It's Minish Cap. So if the Darknet charges at you right at the beginning of the fight, you can just Pegasus boots behind him and slash him 4 times, which is a really quick fight. But sometimes he won't charge at you, or most of the time I should say, because it's Minish Cap. Which wastes a little bit of time because you have to use the boost again and do a little bit of a backup strat.
So does nobody use the strat that Kirby found?
It's not actually consistent.
Oh really? Because I remember he found that and linked it. I watched it and I tried it and it worked. I actually talked to somebody about that not so long ago, and they're like, "Yeah, I didn't even know about it." So I just figured maybe Blue didn't know about it and it wasn't inconsistent.
It's still just random.
That sounds about right. It's Minish Cap.
Yeah. Good game.
Yeah. So okay, we're getting ready to watch Blue do the bow fight. He'll kill these guys. And he'll save and quit. And that saves, I think, around 7 seconds to save and quit compared to just backtrack.
You can lose so much time during that fight, depending on the RNG they give you.
Sadly, that's pretty much what we say about like every fight in Minish Cap. You can lose so much time here depending on the RNG. This game hates you and it wants you to know. So the whole purpose of this area is we have to collect 3 yellow kinstones, and that allows us to fuse with 3 giant rocks at the end. Which that's the best way you can explain it. 3 giant rocks,
basically.
And they just jump up and down. Well, I guess technically they just jump once and they land, and it shatters a rock more and more each time you do it, and that allows you to progress on the game. This is fusing kinstones is a big part of Minish Cap, but on any percent we only fuse 4 kinstones, and this is 3 of them.
Yeah, we skip most of them. There are technically 10 that you have to do. Well, is it 10 or 9? I always forget how many gold kinstones there are.
I've done
5?
I've
I
done
think
Cloud
9,
Tops
actually.
I think I've done Cloud Tops maybe once in my entire life.
There are 5 gold kinstones in Cloud Tops, so 3 there, 3 in Caster Wilds, 5 on Cloud Tops, and 1 for the graveyard thing. So
Well,
I think 9.
if you count Hurdy-Gurdy, because technically you're supposed to do that one, but you can save and quit around
I
it.
guess,
So.
yeah. But yeah, we skip 6 of them, of those gold kinstones. But we will actually get a red kinstone for something interesting a little bit later on.
I mean, what would you call these things?
The rocks?
Yeah, like, I mean...
They probably have a name, but I don't know.
I just love their mouth, at least what I think is their mouth. Yeah, because they're even smiling. I never noticed that until now. They smile after you fuse with them.
How have you not noticed that before?
Because
that reminds me, I've totally forgot. In the Cave of Flames boss room, there are actually Glee rocks on the wall too.
Which that's
I
something
forgot
people didn't notice for the longest time, and when I noticed,
Yeah.
I freaked out, and everybody's like, "Wait, no, you're kidding
Me
me,
too.
right?"
Yeah.
We are a very unobservant bunch, man.
I really wanted to point that out and still forgot. Oh well. But yeah, those rocks. I don't actually know if they have a figurine.
I see. I'm just too concerned with world record pace to notice that those guys are smiling afterwards.
Sure.
I still don't understand why they decided to make that room the way they did. You had to kill all 3 of those. I can't remember their names.
Tektites?
Tektites. There you go. You have to kill all 3 of them to progress forward, which it's just such a random thing.
Yeah. On this screen we slash the grass there a little bit and kill 1 snake. It's a little bit faster than just walking around the whole thing. Because
Yeah,
you would have to walk around twice, so...
Yeah, apparently the
pretty
grass
slow.
is just too tall for Minish Link to go through. So.
Yeah.
That's when you know you have some issues, when the grass is your biggest enemy.
This is also an interesting room. This is the only Ormos in the game that actually activates, or differently, I guess. If you get close to it, it will block the way down there, so you have to deactivate it to get past it.
I tried so many different things before on emulator to see if you can get past them without actually deactivating them. You can get so close. Like, you can get almost the
There
exact
actually
same
is a way. There actually is a way, but you can't leave the screen afterwards.
Really, I did not know that.
Yeah, if you use... There's a glitch called portal items, which we will see in the next dungeon, actually. And if you use boots with the portal items glitch, the Ormos won't activate, and you can just go past it. But the thing is, if you do that, Link is in a state where he just can't exit screens anymore, so it's useless.
Yeah, of course. I mean,
Yeah.
why in the world would we be allowed to have anything fun in Team C?
It's really nice. So yeah, 3rd dungeon, Fortress of Winds. There is a big glitch in this dungeon, fortunately, which saves about 3.5 minutes, and the boss key, which we'll see in a second.
And
Or in a second, a little bit later.
something pretty interesting we're about to see. And Blue just got lucky and got a heart. That'll save him some time. Right here, he's going to copy. You're supposed to copy yourself all the way across, but if you do it like that, you can step across quick enough to while the button is still pushed down, which saves a little bit of time, so you don't have to grab that skull on the right, because the middle 2, they're skulls that actually activate and come flying at you, so you have to kill them anyway, or dodge them.
The cloned Link has to hit the switch first, though, for some reason. I don't know why, but... TMC.
So we won't be able to get to see the best room in the game. So I guess I'll just talk about it now. The only glitch I have found in this game, it's completely useless, but I found it. I gotta give myself some love.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, alright. So there's a room where you have to fight 3 floor masters, which are just the giant hands that, grab you and send you back to the start of the dungeon. Well, one day I was sitting there fighting them, and it's actually the door on the right, if he was to take the door on the right, Blue. I was fighting one of them, I killed him, and I had my bow drawn back, and right as I let go, I happened to pick up a kinstone from the first one that I killed. So, as I picked up the kinstone, I let go of the arrow, and it shot my entire quiver out. It shot like 24 arrows in one shot.
It's ridiculous.
And it's what makes it even worse though is the fact that it's a frame perfect glitch, because you have to pick up something that gives you text. So kinstones, or if you're picking up the shells for the first time, it has to be the exact frame that you let go of the bow. So you have to have the bow pulled back, and then if you pick it up at if you let go at the exact same frame, you pick up something that activates text, it'll shoot your entire quiver.
Awesome glitch.
Which obviously makes Lake Lost look horrible in comparison to Link. So we'll see Blue get the moments here and then save and quit out so he can go back to the start of the dungeon, and then we get to see the best glitch ever.
Basically, I like it a lot more than the other glitches in this game.
Yeah, because, I mean, anybody that's been running this game for more than a year, you know, they did the same glitch over and over. So this was something new and fresh.
Yeah. But first, before that glitch actually happens, you will see Blue get a red kinstone in the next room, right here. And here you can actually use the bottle to get the immune to hitboxes glitch. Yeah, he got hit twice there, so that glitch would have saved like 3 seconds for him, and 1 heart of damage. Yeah, you can use it there. It's a little bit precise, so you would have to practice a little bit for just to save like that 1 second, but I think it's worth it.
Alright, you want to explain this glitch? Or you want me to?
Yeah, go ahead.
Alright, so he just used, I don't even know what you guys call it, but it's pretty much using items on Minish portals. So, like, if you notice as he's walking up, he's going to attack the Minish portal, and he's going to bounce off it, and then when he gets put onto it, because of him bouncing off with the moments, it's going to put him high, like, on a different place compared to where he should be. So he's actually further up, and then the bomb is going to be there. So when he jumps off, he's going to be at the same height of the wall. The bomb explosion is going to push him on top of the wall, allowing him to get obviously on top of the wall and then skip pretty much the entire dungeon.
It's pretty good. I love this glitch so much.
Yeah, it's actually a pretty cool glitch though. It's not as hard as it looks either, even though AGDQ. Using the moments is pretty easy. The issue with that though is you can get a slow animation, which takes like 20 seconds or something. It takes forever to go. He goes through the animation of using the moments, but at an extremely
very slowly.
And he'll do that on top of the portal. And then after you get up there, it's just timing the bomb explosion, which is like 4 or 5 frames or something. It's actually a pretty big window, I think, isn't it?
It's 5. It's sometimes 5 frames. Frames. It's always 4 frames, and sometimes the 5th frame also works. I don't know why. Sub-pixels.
Yeah, it's that glitch is not possible on US because we cannot do using items on Minish portals.
Yeah, this is JP and European version only.
That glitch, the use items on Minish portals, got found years ago. I mean, years ago.
Yeah.
And we never had a use for it until a little over a year ago, I think it was. Somebody found it about that skip that we just did. So it's nice that people are actually finding things, even if it's something that we've known about for years.
Okay, so this boss, I totally forgot about to talk about him. He's actually pretty straightforward. You've probably seen him in other games already, like in Super Mario 64. You just use arrows on his hands, and then get inside of him to kill the pillar, or to slash the pillar. Something that speedrunners use as a little bit of a strat is that the pillar can't be in the same location twice. Which saves a little bit of time because you don't have to check the same portal one more time.
And one thing we didn't point out, I was too busy talking about the glitch. After they get up on top of the wall, you have to go into the next room and use the door to drop down. Because it actually will put you back down on the layer that you should be on.
If you don't do that, the game will soft lock.
Yeah, it's actually some of the more interesting soft locks in the game too, because you can walk in.
Yeah.
Zal can do multiple different things. He can, half his hands will be there. Sometimes he'll just die. Like you'll see the explosion like after the end of the fight, and then you'll just be standing there. Sometimes you can actually
activate... like so close to actually skipping the boss.
Yeah. Sometimes you can actually completely activate the fight and it'll work perfectly, but you can't shoot him because you're on a higher layer than he is. It's a really interesting glitch. Like you can mess around with it a lot.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense once again. Alright, now it's time for the book quest, which... the route for this is a little bit interesting. Most new runners screw this up at least once during their first runs. Because we actually use a glitch here, which makes the route a little bit more complicated than it should be. Even though it doesn't really save that much time. We also used to get the red kinstone here in this cave. Yeah, this cave right here on infinite screen. But that one is really slow. And because of the glitch in the third dungeon now, we can just get that one in the dungeon because we have to go there twice anyway.
Yeah, one of the saddest things to me about this game is shortly after the glitch in Fortress of Winds got found, an RNG manipulation for the red kinstone got found too. But then shortly after, somebody found out that there was just a chest holding the red kinstone.
Yeah, me and Chimera Fusion, I think was his name, back then were trying to find a red kinstone manipulation, and we actually did find one. The first one actually involved 44 sword slashes, I think, or 42 or something. And we improved that so that we only had to slash the sword 3 times. But then Snoops found out that you can just get the chest there, which is a lot faster. So that was completely pointless.
Yeah, and it was funny too because it became like a just a joke in the TMC community.
Yeah.
Because I've said it already, we're a very observant bunch. But in our defense, we never had the moments when we went through that area. So it was kind of one of those things we never even thought to check that chest because you could only get it by using the moments. So
MP was also part of that grant, yeah. Alright, so here we actually get to see the first Ocarina glitch in the game. The Ocarina glitch is pretty interesting and pretty broken. Hey, he actually got it first try. So for this Ocarina glitch in particular, you have to be on a specific pixel to actually do the screen transition successfully. But yeah, what the Ocarina glitch actually allows you to do is, because Link is technically still playing the Ocarina, but gets interrupted by a cutscene, the game still thinks that Link is playing the Ocarina, and if Link is playing the Ocarina, he cannot fall down any pits. And since you have control of Link, you can just walk over pits if you want to. But that screen transition there in particular is weird. I don't actually know why, but you have to be on a specific pixel to do it successfully, else you will just soft lock, which will lose you a lot of time, obviously.
And another interesting thing about that Ocarina glitch in particular is if you notice, Blue he killed the pesto. It wasn't random. He didn't just kill it because he hates pestos or anything. It was found out by me. No, it's actually no, it was actually mainly because a different runner. He said something about how like when he did it, it was always different. So I actually watched his PB and I noticed what he did different. He killed the pesto. So it's actually because he just randomly did it and I noticed. But if you kill the pesto, it'll give Link that really messed up graphic look to him. And that actually allows you to not have to walk through the doorway in the next room where the book is, because the book will already be there. It used to be you ran to the right, you went into the doorway to respawn the book, and then you would do what BlueInfinity did. But not having to do that, you can just run across, hit the Ocarina, so you deactivate the Ocarina glitch, and then drop the book. I timed it before and it was like 7 seconds or something like that. It's been a while, but I think it was like 7 seconds faster.
What's interesting about that is that that actually does not always work on the European version. The European version is just weird in general. Sometimes the book won't despawn whatsoever, and sometimes it won't spawn, even if you kill the pesto. So the Japanese version is actually more consistent there.
I did not know that again. I'd see, like I said, I avoid the European version like the plague. It's the bad version. Everybody knows it's the bad.
I just use it for glitch hunting.
You just use it because you like reading the game in German. Don't lie.
Please.
Ace is pretty far behind right now. Blue's getting ready to grab the bracelets, and Ace is getting ready to grab the Ocarina. So I mean, there's a good time difference right here. I wonder if it looks like Blue actually is going to get the fairy here, because nope, he still had the pot on. That's why I was thinking he was going to get it.
I always forget that there actually is a fairy there. So something about this fight, you see that there are 4 enemies here. One time, it has only happened once to me. Only 3 guys actually spawned, and I only had to kill those 3 guys, and the chest spawned without any problems. It has only happened once, and not even in a run, just during practice.
So, Toads, if you had to guess, how much time difference do you think there is between these two right now?
I have no idea.
Yeah, that's somebody in chat asked, and I'm sitting there trying to think of a number. I'm like, I have no idea, man. Like,
It's hard to tell
yeah.
because it's in the middle of the book quest, which I have no idea like what the time should be.
So the book quest, you have to grab 3 books to advance on to the next part of it. And the bad thing is, with the book quest, the whole reason for it is to get the power bracelets, which we only use twice in the entire run. Once to actually complete the book quest, and another time in Palace of Winds. And then the whole main reason for the book quest though is to get the flippers, which we only use the flippers, but 3 times?
Well, we use it a bit more often because we actually have them, but there's only really one room we need them for.
Yeah. So I mean, it's one of those things that's haunted us TMC runners for a long time now. Because we're so close to being able to skip flippers, we just find like one way to skip this room. The problem is, even if we did that, we still can't skip bracelets, man. This game, it hates us.
No, it's terrible.
So after you push the blue book down, if you wait for like it to hit the ground and make there's that air gust or whatever off to the side, you just save and quit out. It's a lot quicker than again backtracking, going through the water, and
Yeah.
it actually saves us going through the water with the pestos. That was when somebody found that out. It was the greatest thing ever, because when you're going through it the first time, it's completely clear. You just go straight there. The second time on the way back, there's like 6 or 5 pestos or something just buzzing around. Yeah. So it's not only faster, it's also just, you know, easier because you don't go insane getting hit by pestos. I used to remember, but I forget how many save and quits are in any percent route.
I'm not sure. I've never really counted them.
Oh, see, I'm apparently a nerd because I actually used to know this. I actually knew how many save and quits was in 80%. It's been so long since I've raced this game now.
I think the task actually has one additional save and quit during the boots quest, I think, because emulator saves faster than console.
Yeah.
I think 3 seconds faster.
Speaking of save and quit, because you just brought it up. While saving and quitting in this game, this game is actually really interesting with its saving and quitting because when you hit save, if you wait about a second and then hold the buttons to soft reset the Game Boy or the GameCube, it won't actually soft reset the GameCube until it's, I guess, comfortable, like until it gets to the point where it's actually saved. So you can sit there and hold all the buttons you need to soft reset it, and it'll soft reset immediately after it finishes the save.
Okay, so Infinity is actually using bombs for this fight, which is a good strat because usually those guys take 7 sword hits, but if a bomb explodes right in the middle of their body, it actually only takes 1 hit, and you can get a very quick kill.
I wouldn't say emulator's banned, but emulator isn't capable of getting world record. I mean, it's not like we're shooing away people running emulator, but you know, official runs are of course on the GameCube.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter too much if you run on emulator for a long time. I mean, Fire Turtle got a 150, 57 on MU, and no one cared really.
There's actually a really, really cool Ocarina glitch right here. It's pretty much TAS only because it requires, 2 frame perfect inputs or something like that?
It's not really TAS only. You can buffer the first frame perfect trick, I guess.
That house that Blue ran by, if you die right inside the doorway, so you have to push the door open as you die, and have a fairy on you, the fairy will revive you, and then you can actually Ocarina glitch the house, so you can just run straight towards the Temple of Droplets entrance without using the flippers. It's a really cool. That was one of my favorite things in the TAS, was watching that, because I was completely blown away.
The funny thing about that is that it's actually slower, I'm pretty sure.
That wouldn't surprise me. Dude, it doesn't matter if it's slow or not. It's completely swag.
Yeah, I guess so. I just actually forgot to get Ocarina Glitch here.
Oh, that's disappointing. Oh, you
He
got
also
it
has
there.
the wrong items equipped.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, the book quest always messes with new runners. It's impossible to memorize everything.
The interesting to note, like, okay, where Ace is right now, there's probably like 30 different strats for that Ocarina glitch. Because like Toads was saying earlier, you have to be on the exact right pixel. But awkwardly enough with the that location, it's not like it's just one pixel in the entire screen. It's a bunch of different pixels that you can step on. So everybody has their own strat that they're comfortable with. So there's like, I mean, there's a ridiculous amount of different ways to do it.
So if you're watching Infinity, you actually saw him get Ocarina Glitch again and skip the boss key. It doesn't actually save that much time, because the boss key, for some reason, is right at the beginning of the dungeon. You would have just gone to the left instead of the right. It's a really strange design of a dungeon.
Yeah, I mean, you start the dungeon off looking right at the boss door. So.
Yeah. But you also get the boss key right away.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, is like, you start off staring at the boss door, and you think, oh, okay, this is going to be a big dungeon. No, it's like two or three rooms up top that has a key and the boss key. But the reason why we skip the boss key and get the keys, but by getting that key and skipping the boss room and whatnot, actually allows us to save a little bit of time.
Yeah,
using that. Yeah, we get to use that key that we picked up elsewhere instead of where they actually wanted us to use it. So we skip some portion of the dungeon. I've never done this dungeon legit, so I don't know how much we skip.
You actually do skip quite a lot of the dungeon. Doing this dungeon glitchless is a pain. I've done 2 glitchless runs, I think, and during one of those I actually died here. Because a lot of the rooms here are dark, and there are a lot of enemies in those rooms. It's just a pain, really, to do those rooms fast.
So BlueInfinity just did. I don't even want to call it a glitch because it's not really much of a glitch, but the lily pad. It's an ice puzzle skip. You're supposed to do an ice puzzle, and you have to shuffle some ice blocks around on ice so they just slip all over the place, and that allows you to get the lily pad all the way through the that room. Well, for some reason, how the game actually works is if the lily pad is moving and you exit the screen, it'll just put the lily pad at the very end of the room anyway.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
TMC.
So all you do is you just move the lily pad and then swim off the screen, and that allows you to just put the lily pad right at the end and skip the entire ice puzzle, which again is a pain in the neck because you've got like 2 or 3 pestos over there annoying you.
Yeah, we used to be able to skip half of it, I think. Well, something was. No, actually we didn't skip half of the puzzle, but half of getting the lily pad over.
Yeah, it used to be you would do the ice puzzle, and then right afterwards there was a room to your left. You'd move the lily pad and then just swim right over there and then put it at the end. So
this room. All right, go ahead.
I was just going to say that Blue's currently just running through this ice because you guys, anybody that's played video games, they know how annoying ice physics are. If you just run, you don't slip or slide or anything like that. So it's much easier to just, run through the enemies, take the damage because none of them really hit for a whole lot of health anyway. Just run right through. You'll clear that room a lot faster by running, and you won't worry about slipping off or any of that nonsense.
Yeah. And if you do fall off, you actually have to do the whole room again because the game will spawn you at the beginning of the room. Because ice tiles are too strong.
Yeah, because like most games, it wants to try to put you back on like a safe platform, safe location. Of course, ice isn't considered one, so they just put you all the way back at the start of the room. And we get to see the first dungeon boss again. changes. This time he's blue and he has lightning, which is the only thing with the lightning. It doesn't really do much except for just waste time, because you can't suck up his goop while he's, electric, so you just have to sit there and wait for him to lose his electricity. And it's really silly too, because it's not even just the green one, it's the blue one too. He does the exact same thing where you only need 4 hits, but he has a set number of hits to him right as he falls down. It's faster to just sit there and keep hitting him, because you'll hit him quicker than if you just hit him 4 times and wait. If you hit him the 9 times or whatever magical number it wants, it'll be quicker to just hit him real quick and then get him to stand up, compared to just hit him 4 times and just stand there.
And the other difference is that you actually want the 5 jump during this fight, because it's just a lot more convenient. After the 5th jump, he will not be electrified anymore, and you can just start using the Gust Jar. Whereas when he's charging at you, you have to time everything, and it's a little bit more difficult. Technically, it doesn't matter too much, but it's just easier if he jumps at you 5 times.
And then after you get the lantern, save and quit out, because he's going to Ocarina glitch and skip
First try.
About half the dungeon. It's close to half the dungeon right here.
Yeah, it skips so much, it's ridiculous.
And you can actually mess up. Yeah, it skips a lot. You can actually mess up this ocarina. Like right here, if he was to walk up, I don't know if you guys saw this like tiled rock that you can climb. It actually put you in a completely different room compared to where he actually was. So you can actually mess that room up if you go up instead of left, up, then right. It seems weird and it seems really roundabout, because it looks, I mean, to anybody that doesn't know the game, most people would just look at it like, oh, why don't you just go up and put you in that room quicker? If you actually go up, it puts you in a totally different room. You have to go left, then up, then right. It's TMC. I don't understand. TMC just really does whatever it wants.
Well, speaking of, here we have Big Octo finally being unfrozen, English.
You can say it however you want, man. We love you enough where you can say whatever words you want.
Nice. But yeah, this boss is a real pain. He's very RNG heavy.
So he's got a he's got a set pattern to him on his first phase. In his second phase, his third phase is RNG. You have no idea what's happening. People always like hearing his strat, or his how he's actually what he's going to do, because the words to describe it people always find funny. But he's going to shoot. His second phase, he will what is it, like suck, shoot, shoot.
Yeah.
And then his third phase, what you want him to do is to just shoot 3 times and hit you, or shoot 3 nuts at you, and you can knock this back and instant kill him. More than likely, what he will do though is he will end up doing, he'll try to suck you in, and then he'll do a smoke attack.
An ink attack.
Yeah, and ink, and the room will go completely dark, and boulders will come crashing from the sky. It's almost, it's really impossible to die to this fight unless you were low health going in, but there's 4 hearts on the screen before this. But the problem with the ink attack is it's not that it's possibly going to kill you, it's just a humongous time waster.
Yeah. And you can't do anything against it. If he gives you the ink attack, you have to deal with it.
Yeah, and his most common occurrence is to do 1 ink. 0 ink and 2 ink is possible. Higher than that's possible, but that's player error.
He can also charge at you, which also uses a little bit of time. It doesn't happen that often, though, for some reason. But if he charges at you once, he will most likely charge at you another 4 times. Yeah,
he's a giant troll. Everybody hates him. The amount of runs I've lost because of him. And right there, blue, he just got sucked in.
He didn't get 0 ink.
Yeah, so he's at least getting 1 ink. It could be even worse, he could get 2.
But he's just running around for like 20 seconds.
One thing that is kind of nice about Octorok is he will never do 3 inks in a row. If he if he goes to suck you in, and he doesn't ink, the next one he'll shoot and he'll, you know, either suck you in or shoot, and then after that he'll just do 3 shots in a row. And if you sit in a corner, I don't know why, but if you sit in a corner, it seems to get him to activate a lot quicker compared to if you are out in the open. Yeah, blue got a 1 ink, no surprise there. That's
It was
like I said,
1
that's
ink
the
and 1
most,
charge.
yeah, that's the most common
But still.
occurrence.
Yeah.
Which that's a good thing. At least, you know, 1 ink is the most common instead of 2.
2 ink is just really sad.
Yeah. And we didn't talk about this when Blue was doing it, but Ace, after the Ocarina glitch, he walked up the stairs and it looked like he
Oh,
was
yeah.
heading out of the dungeon. The reason why you do that is while you're Ocarina glitching, if you ever change your Z coordinate, your height, it'll actually keep that locked into place. So by him walking up those stairs, it allowed him to walk over top of the wall to get over, across the boss room or the boss door. So you'll see. The only dungeon I can think that we do that is Dark Hyrule Castle, but you'll see us do that in Dark Hyrule Castle 2 times, changing our height so we can get over top of walls.
Unfortunately, you can only higher Link's height value. You cannot lower it. If there was a way to lower it, we could actually skip the flippers and a lot more things. But because this game is good, that's not possible.
Yeah. So BlueInfinity is currently going through the hedge maze to get back inside so he can fuse his sword. Every time you do a dungeon, except for your Fortress of Winds, because you get the Ocarina instead of the element, you have to go fuse your sword again. Well, I guess technically the first dungeon too, because you only get 1 element. But so when you're going through the hedge maze, you have to avoid the guards. Typical Zelda fashion, just like everybody's played Ocarina of Time. You have to avoid the guards. Awkwardly enough, there's a lot of differences between Japanese and English. One of the differences, yeah, extremely weird. One of the differences on the Japanese version, apparently the guards are lazy because they are so slow.
They're not only lazy, they're also very blind.
Yeah, the English version, the guards are so much better and so much quicker. So to get all the way through the hedge maze without stopping at all, it's really hard to do on the English version. The Japanese version, if you're decent at the game, you're going to have to sit there and wait for the guards because that's how slow they are.
Yeah, it's such a weird difference. I mean, making them slower, I guess, kind of makes sense, but making them almost blind... Alright, so now we have the blue sword, and now what the game wants us to do is to go to the graveyard, get a gold kinstone, go to Cloud Tops, which then allows us to enter Palace of Winds. But we're not going to do that. Instead, we will just skip all of that by using the Ocarina glitch once again. So earlier we fused with the stranger in Hyrule Town to activate this portal here, so we can actually enter this house. Now, usually you cannot go or enter the things. What is it called?
The stairs?
Yeah, because there's in front of it English. But by using the Ocarina glitch, you can just walk through the NPCs. So you can just it saves about like 50 minutes, I think, maybe a little bit more.
It saves quite a bit of time because what you're supposed to do is you're actually supposed to go to the graveyard. And then from that, you're supposed to go to Cloud Tops, and get the Palace of Winds, and it's a huge ordeal. You skip all of that by just glitching through those people with the Ocarina glitch. And we see Blue already getting trolled by some P-hats. On this, you have to constantly shoot switches. Yeah, you have to shoot these switches to activate the bridges, and the P-hats will constantly troll you by getting in the way of your shots. Or like what happened right there with the skeletons. Yeah, this is a really annoying room because the P-hats are getting in the way. Go ahead.
Yeah. Sometimes it's just better to actually run at the skeletons and completely ignore them because they will just jump over you. But sometimes they will also just ignore you and walk into you, so... TMC enemies.
Hopefully he gets a good fire. Let's see if he gets it. Oh, he does, and he doesn't take it. Interesting. Right there, if you, like, there's fire channels that are moving around. If you actually run into those and get hit, some of the fastest movement speed, possibly the fastest. I've never actually timed it compared to boots.
Yeah, it's probably the fastest.
I think it is. The fastest movement speed in the game is while you're on fire, so you can actually get to the edge of the screen really quick and then spam buttons to put yourself out of fire as quickly as possible.
It's a real. He already messed it up.
Yeah, he messed up.
This rhythm
boss
fight
fight.
can look really, really cool, but it's also probably the most difficult fight in the game to do perfectly. But if you do it perfectly, you use, I think, 7 bombs, and it looks really cool if you get it, get the cool strat. Unfortunately, he messed it up though.
Yeah, this is. Oh, I can't even tell you how many times I changed up this fight. Because when I first started, MB had the world record, so I just watched the world record video and copied that. And his strategy for that fight was to 1-cycle the first 2 Wizrobes, and then he would purposely 2-cycle the next set of 4 Wizrobes, so he could set up a 2-cycle for the set of 6 Wizrobes.
Real quick, oh, he missed it.
Yep.
There's this platform down there, which you can actually jump onto, which skips a few rooms, but yeah. The jump is kind of precise, but not too bad. If you fail it, you should probably just jump down, activate the Ezo cutscene, of course, which we skipped earlier. Also, fun fact about that Ezo cutscene: if you skip it and then get the Rockscape, jump on a cloud, try to roll off the cloud, the game will actually soft lock because you're too high for the Ezo cutscene to trigger. Good game.
And since right here the clouds, like he's getting ready to do, each cloud in the game, each like set of clouds like that, if you go up a certain height, most of them are 3. There's 1 set of clouds that's only 2. There's 1 set of clouds that's 0, and then there's the boss one you need 4, if I recall correctly. But you can just jump straight ahead, and you can actually hit the trigger to warp you up, and it's a lot faster than slowly climbing up the clouds themselves. And that jump that Blue did in the last room from the edge onto the moving platform, that saves, I want to say about like 30 seconds or something. I've never timed it. I've never even done that room over there.
Yeah, but it saves quite some time. It saves a stupid fight with Scissor Beetles, I think.
Yeah, you're supposed to go to the right and then do some extra random stuff and then come back over and then just get on the moving platform. But they give you just enough space to jump from the edge onto the moving platform.
So this is the other screen we actually need the bracelets for, because Minish Link is not strong enough to push pots apparently, so he needs bracelets, which makes him magically a lot stronger.
Well, I mean, hey, look at Ocarina of Time. He had gauntlets, multiple different gauntlets. But yeah, this is we only need the bracelets twice. Once during the book quest to push a bookshelf that has the blue book on top of it, and then for this right here. This is like, I don't know, it's just absurd that we have to get, bracelets for only 2 reasons and the flippers for 1 reason, because we can skip almost everything else that we need the flippers for.
It's really sad.
It is, man. This game...
That puzzle is also kind of impossible, by the way.
This right here, this location right here was actually where I first saw the skip for use items on Minish portals. This is where it was found, I believe, or at least where, like the video I saw, you can actually skip over that little barrier on the left, and you can go all the way to the end of the dungeon. But you skip the boss key by doing that. So it's not faster. Even skipping over that and like backtracking to get the boss key is actually still slower. So we have a skip in this dungeon, but we don't do it because it's slower.
Well, we now have also another skip later on.
Yeah.
In just a second. But most likely we will not see it today. Because it's pretty precise.
So it looks like Blue's not going for the fast. If he would have rolled through those spikes instead of jumping, he would have been able to get to that air just as it was ending, and it'd give him just enough of a boost to get to the other side. doesn't save a whole lot of time, but of course, I mean, this is
but
speedrunning, so
seconds are always better.
Yeah.
There's actually a little bit of a new strat, I guess. You actually use the boots on those screens now, just because it's a little bit faster and more consistent to get the first cycle that way.
But is it really worth it to switch to the boots?
It is. If you switch to the boots after growing up after growing again, you can save a few seconds.
Yeah, I mean, I know it doesn't really surprise me. For some reason, I never ever even thought about doing it in that location, because I'm always one to make sure I keep my amount of pauses down to a minimum. So that's probably why I never even thought about using boots.
Okay, so this room Infinity is in, you can actually get Ocarina glitch here activated. If you play the Ocarina at the same frame, the key drops down. Well, I don't think we will see it here. He actually got it! Oh my god!
Oh my goodness! Oh my god!
What? I did not expect that.
What?
God gamer. Alright, so what this Ocarina glitch allows him to do now is to skip like 3 rooms. It saves about 30 seconds and a few bombs. But yeah, it's pretty precise. You only have 1 frame right when the cutscene starts. You can buffer it, but it's still very inconsistent, so it's actually pretty amazing that he got it.
Yeah, he was supposed to move when he was at that moblin where he just went straight down across. You're supposed to do that puzzle, go left, jump across an airstream, do a double moblin, double ice wizard fight, and then jump to the right where he ended after he did the skip. So I mean, it saves a good chunk of time, but like Toad said, it is frame perfect, so it's a pretty difficult trick to do.
Yeah, you only have one shot at it, so if you miss it...
And this is the hardest fight in the game, so keep your eyes open.
I can't believe he got it, though.
It's just insane, dude. Every single time I see it done.
Ridiculous. Alright, so that's cool.
I can't believe he got that, dude. That was so awesome.
Alright. So, wait, where are we now? Alright, so now he's getting a key, and the next room is actually also a little bit difficult because of, once again, P-Head RNG. You can get a pretty fast strat there, but if one of the P-Heads hits you while you're carrying the bomb, which you will see in a second, you will have to re-enter the room, kind of, because the P-Heads will just troll you down there. He actually uses a different strat. Alright, that's a little bit safer. You can actually just put down the bomb at the very beginning of the room and just carry it over there. But of course, if a P-Head then hits you, you lose quite a lot of time, because you drop down the bomb, have to basically re-enter the room.
See, I always rolled down like 2 times or something like that, then roll lifted a bomb. So I avoided most of the P-Hats anyway, and if I did get hit, I still had time to pick up the bomb.
Yeah, there are also different strats for that room.
Yeah, that's another one of those rooms that people have a lot of strats for.
Don't worry, Grant, I will miss that Ocarina glitch in my runs.
It's not kill the guy and play the Ocarina at the same time. It's after he dies, a key starts falling from the sky. You have to time it. It's like the Grand said, it's frame perfect. So with Ocarina glitch, yeah, with most Ocarina glitches, you use like a stairwell, like on Blue's screen. It's really easy. You just stand in the stairwell, you hit up, and then Ocarina a frame after each other. So it's really easy to do. But that one requires you to hit a frame with no like reference point or anything like that. Like it's just you gotta hit a frame perfect. So that's the hardest Ocarina glitch in the game at the moment, and
it's also the newest.
Yeah.
Trick. And something interesting about it is that it almost skips like 70% of the dungeon, almost, because you can actually enter the screen where the tornado is, which if you go into that tornado, you will enter the boss room. But if you enter that screen, Link will spawn in the air, and which means he will just fall endlessly, because he will only be able to walk on that screen if he touches land on the very first frame. And since there's only air on that screen, the way you enter it, you cannot actually skip a lot of the dungeon.
So I don't know if
sad.
I don't know how much attention you're paying attention to on Ace, but he had a super close fight with Octorok, man. He went down to half a heart.
Yeah.
That's the reason why he has the nickname he does. Octorok, man, nobody likes him for a reason. So we're seeing Blue go safe here and pick up a fairy. And miss that jump, and then miss it again.
That jump is impossible, though.
That is one of the most awkward jumps in the game. And this right here is like one of the harder cloud jumps out of all of them. And it looks like Blue's not even going to do
jump actually only saves like 0.8 seconds, and if you fall down, you lose 3 seconds, I think. So it's not really worth going for, in my opinion, because it's also a lot more precise than the other ones.
Yeah, all the other ones, it's just you go up to the amount of clouds that you need to, and you just jump. It's not that hard. But that one, you have to jump close to the very, very edge. You need as much forward momentum as possible. You need as much distance as possible. And you also want to time your rock escape, because after you hit it once, you can hit it again. And there's a certain point where you're at the very peak of your jump. That's when you'd want to hit it again, so you get as much air. So that's the hardest one out of all of them. Like Toad said, it's time-wise, it's not that great of a save.
So now the Gyok fight, which can be pretty bad if you get bad RNG, obviously. It's TMC. He actually messed up the strat a little bit for the second phase. You can do the first 2 phases without getting hit very consistently, but he messed up the setup a little bit. The third and fourth phase are pretty RNG heavy though.
Yeah, what you want to do on the Georg fight is you want to, like how he did himself, you always want to have yourself split. You never want to do 3 right next to each other. It makes it hard to hit all the patterns. But if you do 2 and then a gap and then 1, you can hit every single pattern he throws at you. And as long as you don't get hit while he's shooting at you, you can just keep that those clones with you, and you don't have to reclone. So like right here, he's losing time by having to reclone.
Yeah.
And I can't even remember how many hits Georg actually needs, but I know like after so many hits, the rest of them don't even actually do any damage. He's a lot like pretty much every enemy in this game, where you do so many hits and it looks like you're still doing damage, but you're actually not. So I know it's like so many hits here, and then he becomes invulnerable, and then the second set, you're supposed to do, so much damage to kill him. So yeah, it seems like every single fight they do that, where it looks like you're doing damage, but you're not. This game just really loves trolling people. No, that was actually a really good Georg fight. He got hit a few times.
But kind of trolly.
Yeah. Blue's got a really good time
Pretty
going
good
right
run,
now.
yeah. Really not bad.
Well, and according to chat earlier, Ace actually has never even completed a run. He did a bunch of practice and whatnot, so this is actually his first run. He's actually got a decent run going too for his first,
for
complete
first
run.
That's not too bad, yeah. It's also about to enter. Nice, 2 first try Ocarina glitches. About to enter Palace of Winds. By the way, in my opinion, Palace of Winds is the most difficult dungeon in the game, just because of all the technical stuff, and now because of the new Ocarina glitch. So getting a perfect Palace of Winds is ridiculously difficult now.
According to DQ Nut, Blue has golded with minus 127 on that split.
Wow.
Yeah, so he's having the run of his life at the moment.
That's pretty amazing.
Which I guess if you're going to bust out, top tier runs, this would be the time to do it.
Definitely.
Apparently, that's all we needed to do to get Blue to put up a good time. We just needed to put on some pressure. So this is something I wanted to mention while in Palace of Winds, but we were busy talking about other things. There's platforms that Ace just fell through. This game's actually really weird, because I've tried to find glitches multiple times, and if you're on those platforms, and right before they break, if you use the lantern, you will actually just stand there with the platform missing from your feet, and then you'll actually eventually fall through. I've tried to get it multiple ways to get that to work. I can't get anything from it, but it's just really weird though. If you use the lantern right as the platform breaks, you'll just stand there for a little bit before falling. And now we get the last cutscene of the game, minus Eslo.
For some reason, they just put the intro again here.
Yeah, it'll give you the intro, and then I think like 2 more panels afterwards with a little bit more
Yeah,
information
something like
into the
that.
story.
This is also the only time in the run where I can actually drink something.
Yeah, this is the infamous like extremely quick pee break or drink break. And unfortunately, Ace messed up the Wizrib fight as well. He got caught in the spikes and got bounced around by him.
Yeah, that fight, again, is probably one of the most difficult fights in the game. In my opinion, the most difficult one to do perfectly.
And like I said, it's crazy how many different alterations there was to that strat.
Yeah.
So this is the third time now, or second time that Vadi has just made Link look like a little, and it's actually funny though because while he's in that human form, he just completely destroys Link like it's nothing. And then of course he's the final boss at the end. He transforms, and then you beat him. So apparently his strongest form was when he's a human, because he just one hits Link. Here's an interesting little. Oh, you go. Okay.
Well, okay. So if you hit or charge the sword and hit the mayor in this case, right at this or at the same time the SO cutscene starts, you activate cutscene walking. You can't really tell if you haven't played this game like a billion times, because usually you wouldn't be able to move while those guys aren't freezing. But yeah, if you activate those two cutscenes at the same time, you are able to walk during the unfreezing animation, and you can just unfreeze the other guys during those. It saves like 7 seconds, I think. Another first record glitch.
I think that's one of the only times that we actually do cutscene walking.
Yeah, and 90% it's the only time, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
And
that's what I thought.
100% we use it a little bit more often. Thanks to Coco minigames.
So this is another weird thing about Minish Cap. He just ran through the like after he did the Ocarina glitch, he ran across that so he could skip a good chunk of the dungeon by doing that. But when he goes on top of the next screen, if you notice he has the rock cape active, he has to have that item selected because he has to jump off the platform that he comes onto, the little edge, like the railing or whatever. He has to actually jump over top of that. And this is a pretty cool skip too, which he messed it up. This actually allows you to skip an Ezlo tax, which he just activated, and it's also just a faster fight in general. If you throw a bomb and then attack at the right time on the two on the right, the bomb will actually blow the cannonballs back into the ones on the left, and your sword attack will bounce back the cannonballs on the two on the right. It's faster, and it allows you to skip an Ezlo text. That's the main reason it is faster, though, is the Ezlo text skip.
So now we're just collecting a few keys to get the boss key in this dungeon. You need 4 keys to push the big block away to get or to reach the boss key chest. We used the Ocarina glitch a few times to get certain keys in different ways.
And you just saw Blue run out of the dungeon. The reason why is if he
that was a quick Ocarina glitch. Wow.
Yeah, it was. He's been destroying the Ocarina glitches today. But Blue, he ran out of the dungeon because he's going to save and quit after getting a key in a second. And if he didn't run out right there when he did save and quit, it put him at the very beginning where he came into the dungeon, where like he was right next to like the moblin was to his left and all that. So he has to run out right there. So when he save and quits, it puts him in a different location.
And now, since we can just walk over walls with the Ocarina glitch, we can just use the staircase to reach a chest with a key. So in this dungeon, you usually have to go outside, enter a few tornadoes, fly around, press a few switches. But due to the Ocarina glitch, we don't have to do that. So it saves quite a lot of time, and we actually never have to go outside in any percent.
Yeah, we skip most of DHC because of Ocarina glitches. Like right at the start, very first thing we do is perform an Ocarina glitch, and then we do the Ocarina glitch to skip a good chunk of it again when it comes to getting keys. This is, I think this is actually the longest dungeon if you play it legit, but speedrun at any percent, it's actually one of the shortest ones.
Yeah. Ace is really close to dying right now. I hope he still has a fairy.
I think he does. I haven't seen it pop yet. Yeah, he's still got one.
Okay.
Sadly, there's only 4 health, and those guys hit for a whole heart.
Yeah, they do a lot of damage. I hate those guys. They're very random too.
Alright, so we're actually getting ready to see BlueInfinity do the last Ocarina glitch in the game.
Yeah, which is the most interesting one too.
For some reason, the Ocarina glitch allows us to do a lot of things. One of them is if we activate Ocarina glitch, you'll see him right here, that doorway, he's able to just jump over top of it because when he gets on a certain pixel on the screen before and he jumps over top of the door frame, so when he warps into the next one, he's actually just barely above the door frame and it allows him to actually jump over it. That's why you see him doing the jumping animation on the next screen, is because he's actually pulling himself over.
What actually happens there is, if you're in the doorway and have the Ocarina glitch active, usually you cannot use the Rockscape in those doorways, but if the Ocarina glitch is active, you can use the Rockscape there. And what the game does is, if you use the Rockscape in there, is it clips you a little bit into the wall, and if you hold right or left while you're clipped into the wall, you will just jump down the wall. So after the screen transition, you're just kind of inside the wall, so you can just jump out of it. It kind of acts like a ledge, basically.
And Blue, he just entered this room and performed a roll. That roll actually serves two purposes. One, it just gets him to where he's trying to go a little bit quicker. But two, if you don't roll, you can't use the Rock's Cape. So he actually has to roll when he enters this room to allow him to use the Rock's Cape to jump up into the grates. Which, again, that's one of those things that makes no sense, that you have to roll to be able to use the Rock's Cape.
I don't know why.
Oh, and he messed up the Dark Knight fight.
Yeah.
If you enter that room and you roll at the right time, so you're putting yourself at like, in an angle towards him, you're in his bottom left, you can actually attack him and push him back into the doorway. And if you take your time with your attack, so you don't, because every time you hit him, you'll get pushed back just a tiny little bit. So if you take your time between attacks to keep taking like a step forward, you can sit there and hit him all the times that you need, which is I think like 7 or something like that. You have to hit him around 7. Yeah, you have to hit him 7 times, and you can just keep him pushed up against the doorway and just sit there and keep hitting him. It's an extremely easy fight if you get it. Compared to the typical Dark Nut, which is trying to get them to charge at you, which is just pure RNG. It's one of the only Dark Nuts in the game that we actually have a way to like quick kill.
Yeah, in this room we can actually use the flames to run very fast and light the torches very fast. Of course you have to take damage, and it's a little bit risky and hard to move Link around because you're just so fast. It saves about 2 seconds though, so if you have enough hearts, you can go for it.
Now in this right here, Blue just finished killing the ghosts, which they are hands down. As much as I hate pestos, the ghosts are hands down the dumbest enemy in the entire game.
The
reason why is because, if you get grabbed by one ghost, they will seriously gang up on you. So right as you hop out of one ghost, you're instantly into a next ghost, and you can't do anything. Like, you can spam buttons like crazy, you'll pop out and instantly just get grabbed by the next one, and they will do that your entire life bar. It's crazy the amount of times that I've watched myself go from almost full health to almost dead.
They will just chain attack you like crazy. Alright, so we collected all 4 keys without ever going outside, which is nice. Saves a lot of time. And now that we have the boss key, we can just go straight to Lottie. Or Blue, rather. I didn't actually pay attention. I don't know if he's going for the Dark Knight manipulation.
I have no idea.
I'll see
Yeah, I
in a
wasn't paying
second.
attention. Yeah, well, I guess we'll see. If you, what is it? If you save and quit after you grab the boss key, or is it? No, it's after.
you
Save and quit
like-
after you get the key, the last key.
Yeah. No, he's not going for it. He didn't use the setup. So there is kind of a darknet manipulation for the darkness in the next room. If you get it, it saves quite a lot of time because it makes the fight just a lot easier. So here you want the black darknet to charge at you, which he did. Nice. So you can just kill him very quickly. And the other two darknets are in a very good position where you can hit them twice each if you're fast and good. So it just makes the fight a lot easier because one is just instantly dead and the other two aren't too bad. The manipulation itself, technically it is consistent, but you have to know a lot of the setups you can get, or a lot of the patterns you can get rather, and have to adjust depending on which pattern you get, so it can be a little bit confusing. Technically it's consistent, but yeah, you'd have to learn a lot for it.
I love how Blue finished that fight. He just got annoyed and switched to bombs and threw a bomb.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people do. But using bombs there is a lot easier than the Rockscape, but the Rockscape is a little bit faster.
Oh, and Ace missed his jump.
Yeah. He has to go up again.
So now we get to see Vadi in all his annoying glory.
Oh man.
So we got 3 phases of Vadi. Phase 1, Phase 2, and Phase 3, and each one of those, of course, has multiple hits that you got to do. So it starts off and you just got 2 little eyeballs. You destroy those, then you attack the eyeball that opens up in his stomach. And the big problem with there, sometimes he'll just close his eyeball really quick, so you can only get so many hits in.
Yeah.
And other times, the worst one is he'll teleport around. Sometimes, like, you'll do a hit and then he'll teleport. So while he's teleporting and he's not even on the screen, the amount of time that you can hit him is ticking away, because once you hit him for the very first time, it starts like a clock of how long you can sit there and attack him. That clock is still going even while he's not on the screen. So he has a lot of ways where he can just not allow you to hit him. Plus his teleporting. He can teleport. I mean, it seems like an infinite amount of time. Sometimes he can just sit there and teleport.
It's crazy how much time you can save here if he doesn't teleport at all. I actually got an extra cycle too. And now it's time for Vadi 2, his second phase, which is arguably the worst boss of the entire game. Just because of all the ridiculous patterns he can give you. So what you have to do is you have to hit his eyes with arrows, and if the eyes are red ones, you can hit them with a sword, all 4 of them, which will then do this, which they will then disappear, and you can hit the eye in the middle, which is what you want to do. But they under the eyes can also be, or the eyes can also be blue eyes, which means that those eyes are invulnerable, basically, and the location of the red eyes are random every time after each phase. So
yeah, the only time the red eyeballs are actually a set location is the very first one. When you warp in, it's always the bottom 4. After that, it's completely RNG. And something interesting about this fight, which I just recently learned this too, if you're cloning yourself, sometimes you'll be sitting there attacking the eyeballs and the hits just don't seem to register, like you'll be bouncing off. Awkwardly enough, if you clone yourself, what is it, clockwise or counterclockwise? I can't remember which.
if the cloned, or if the real link is on the right side, then you won't always hit him for some reason.
Yeah, I mean, if you clone yourself a certain direction, it seems to help your hits actually land. Whereas if you do it like the opposite direction, you'll sit there and watch your attacks go through them. This is one of the more annoying fights. And this actually, one of the best TMC clips I've ever seen. Shoutouts to SD2. Vadi, you need arrows to obviously activate his eyes. Well, sometimes you can run out of arrows if you're low on arrows to begin with, or if you're just missing arrows. To get arrows, to see the purple spiky things, if you destroy those can have arrows, bombs, which bombs are useless because we don't need them anymore. You can get hearts, but there's actually a clip of SD2. He never got this purple attack, so he sat there for like 5 minutes just walking around waiting for Vadi to do the purple attack to give him that.
That's just terrible.
Alright, now we get to save Link. Good job, Princess. Zelda, you saved Link. So now, of course, you got the typical escape after you save her.
Yeah,
you can't just save her. Yeah, you can't just save her and like the temple, like the dungeon stays there. Now it has to slowly fall apart. So you have to, find your way out of this dungeon, which will lead you, of course, to Vadi 3, which is surprisingly enough the easiest fight because there is an RNG manipulation on him. Everybody else, yeah, it's still pain. It's still pain, but all the other phases, it's just pure RNG. We're just crossing our fingers and hoping that the game's nice to us.
Yeah.
But with this one, at least we have an RNG manipulation to his second phase. Unfortunately, his first phase here, he still likes to troll. What you want him to do?
Not too bad though.
Yeah. I mean, it's not even close to as bad as Vadi phase 1 and 2, but it's still bad. Right there's what you want him to do. You want him to plunge his hand down onto the ground, and then it'll pop up where you were standing, or if you weren't moving, exactly where you were standing. And then you want to go Minish, go inside the arm, and destroy the eyeball that's moving around. If you look at the center of it, there'll be ones that they just look pitch black in the center, but then there'll be one that kind of looks red and the eyeball's moving around. And then destroy both his arms and go into phase 2.
And for some reason, the second arm is dark inside. Makes sense. So you actually have to use the lantern to find the correct eye.
Yeah, because obviously you need to switch items one last time before you can complete the game.
One last pause. In 100%, this fight is actually pretty cool because you can just use the Great Spin attack in both arms, and it makes it very easy.
Yeah. And that actually, one thing with the arms too is if you take too long, Vadi will actually kick you out of his arms, so you have to redo the whole ordeal. So the RNG manipulation here, Blue should be able to get it now. After you get your first hit in, if you stay close to Vadi within a certain distance, he won't do his lightning ball attack, but his blue ball attack that you want to bounce back at him. So right there, he stayed close enough, so Vadi did the blue ball attack. If you don't stay, and it's real Link, not clone Link, real Link has to stay a certain distance from him. If you aren't, then he'll do his lightning ball attack where he just bounces all over the place. Holy crap, man. Blue just had an insane run.
Yeah, that's a PB, definitely, by 3 minutes, I think. I know it was 2:05, but I don't know how many seconds. Let's check.
Ooh, and Ace just got caught by the guards.
Cool run, though. Oh, nice.
Yeah, Blue just had a great run. Does anybody know what his PB was?
He PB'd by 3 minutes and 5 seconds.
Wow. 3 minutes
That's
and 5 seconds. Oh my goodness. Now if he can just do that again next run, man.
Yeah. That was a pretty nice run, though. 2:02 is definitely not bad for a no reset run. And I mean, even for like a PB attempt, obviously.
That was such a good run. It was really solid and clean. He didn't really have a whole lot of mistakes. His Ocarina glitches, you kept pointing out how amazing his OGs were.
Those Ocarina glitches, damn.
I mean, how
they were really fast.
Yeah, and he even landed the Palace of Winds Ocarina glitch. That's how you know it's good.
Yeah, ridiculous.
I think Blue might be having a stroke in Discord. Did you? I don't know if you have Discord open, but I have no idea what he just wrote. All that practice, dude. And then I
believe he's shaking.
That was, I mean, I don't blame him. That was a really insane run. To PB by 3 minutes and 5 seconds, that's not an easy feat.
That was really good.
And now we got Ace with his insanely good cutscene, because, you know, we've only seen it 3 times now. Yeah.
So I actually saw him practice DHC earlier, and he kind of misremembered the route sometimes, so let's hope he will actually remember it correctly this time.
Well, always remember it'll never be bad as, I can't remember his name, but the first...
yeah, what was his name? I always forget too.
The run at SGDQ, like 2013, that was... He actually said that he had never even done Dark Hyrule Castle, and he was just winging it. So it was like the only run, to my knowledge, in GDQ history to get killed. Like, there's actually rain. There's a rain goal now because of it. That poor guy, man.
I never watched that run because I'm too scared. Shoutouts to him.
You could tell the game speedrun wise was still pretty in its infancy, or he just didn't like research. I don't know, because there's a lot of things that he did that just his texting, he didn't know that you could actually speed it up by holding B. So
nice. Missed the cutscene walking, so I actually get to see what it normally looks like.
Yeah, he tried to get it, almost got it. I think it looked like he set up for it, but then he accidentally took a step forward right before he went to do it. I'm actually really disappointed that the key down here we don't get, because I think it's actually a pretty unique key compared to all the other ones. So we already talked about how we only need 4 keys here. We can use the Ocarina glitch to skip around the dungeon. One of the keys that's in this game that you're supposed to use for the actual legit route is you're supposed to jump down the hole where that fire wheel was spinning. And
okay, I'm back.
All right. There's actually
restarted.
The king is down there. You actually rescue the king, and he'll give you a small key. So it's actually a small key I'd really like us to get, but unfortunately we don't, because it's slower RTA.
It's actually not slower by much. It's just a few seconds, I'm pretty sure.
It would be cool to see every once in a while. It's pretty interesting. Well, like I said, it's different than all the other keys that we get that are usually just like open up a chest or something. You get to save the king.
Yeah. There are also Minish portals down there where you can do portal items, but the wall there is just a little bit too high for you to actually reach, so unfortunately we cannot skip half of the dungeon. Or, I mean, we already do skip half of the dungeon, but we can't skip more.
Well, not with that attitude. Come on now.
I've tried everything. With Ocarina Glitch, if you could get Ocarina Glitch there actually on the same screen, you would be able to skip a lot more. Messing up the floor puzzle a little bit.
And unfortunately, he apparently doesn't realize that that button's there to reset the puzzle, so he actually walked out. Oof, he walked into the spike. Yeah, I haven't done this room like that for a long time, because I got sick and tired of doing that, so I started charging my sword the room before.
It's a lot easier that way.
Yeah. And if I ever mess it up, I always just left the room anyway, because then the spike cycle was something I wasn't used to. So I was just would leave and reset it. Ace is having a lot of trouble with this room right now. Yeah, Mopey, if you charge the room before, when you walk into this room, you can just go into the stuff and clone yourself like right away. So then you can just walk straight to the end. You don't even have to deal with the spike. You don't have to avoid it or anything. You just walk straight to the end, stand on the buttons, and you're done. It's actually faster to charge at the room before, because, like I said, you don't have to sit there and wait for the spike and deal with it. It might seem slower.
And you have to charge anyway, so the earlier, the better.
It might seem slower because you're just, charging your sword instead of getting out of the room as quickly as possible, but not having to sit there and wait for the spike to move around and all that nonsense is actually a little bit faster.
My voice is also kind of dying, so sorry.
I don't blame you, man. I actually had 2 different drinks next to me, and they're both completely empty, and my voice is hurting. So I know how you feel.
Difficult to talk.
First TMC problems.
Yeah. Never run hundo. Best advice. You can never drink during a hundo run.
Yeah, I have no desire to go hundo. So.
But...
I've never even done 100% casual, so I'm never ever playing this game 100%.
Well, a lot of people have, mainly because of figurines or because they missed one Kinston fusion or 2.
Yeah. So apparently our next race is Thursday at 11 a.m. EDT. Flames Olsen versus Rise Fairmoon.
I might actually be able to commentate that as well, because obviously I have to kill my voice completely.
Yeah, I mean I'm pretty sure that's the whole purpose of this tournament.
I don't need to talk during my runs anyway, so...
Good thing is I'm not part of this tournament, so nobody gets to make fun of my bad speedrunning the TMC.
Dropped out. Too scared.
Exactly, dude. You know what it is? I saw that you joined. I said, well, nope, done here. It's Toads.
Please.
Don't stand a chance.
I haven't played this game in so long. I've only been glitch hunting, which is pretty sad.
Which is, I think, oxymoronic, glitch hunting and TMC.
I mean, I found interesting things, just all of them are useless. Almost all of them. For Hundo, I've actually found something very cool, but...
Yeah, that's TMC for you.
Yeah. If you find something, it's most likely not going to be useful. Apparently, Blue is joining us in a second.
Yep, he just said he'll join. Although I think he might lag, because... Well, I don't know. No, because, yeah, never mind. I was like... the stream that we're watching, that's what got me... That's what confused me. It's like, wait, I think... No, it's because we're watching a different stream.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, what's up, Blue?
Hey, congrats, once again.
Thanks. I'm still shaking from that run.
Was a pretty good run. You even got that Ocarina glitch, dude. It's amazing.
Right?
Dude, that was the very first thing I want to say.
Yeah.
You need to go watch the VOD, and I went crazy, dude. I think both of us did. We were so surprised. We were not expecting it.
Didn't expect that at all.
Yeah, I missed kind of the hits, and I was like, oh gosh, here it comes, and then I managed to pull it. Oh jeez, when I got the 4 cycle on the green shoe, I was like dreading it, like, oh boy, here we go. My worst nightmares are coming to life. Oh jeez.
Well, still a good run overall, though. You did really
yeah,
well.
I'm really happy with it, actually.
Some of those Ocarina glitches were really, really impressive.
Yeah, I think Toads commented on almost every single one of your Ocarina glitches.
Oh Oh wow, thanks.
And at the same time, I mean, how can you not be impressed by PBing by 3 minutes and 5 seconds?
Yeah.
It's crazy. I
I
don't
wasn't
think
expecting it.
I don't think that anybody like PBs by 3 minutes and 5 seconds. Like, yeah, whatever. I'm kind of disappointed in that run.
No, no. Oh man, I'm still like I could barely type after I got it. Like I was clutching it so hard. And then like I was panicking when I was doing Vadi too. Like once he covered up that one thing, I was like, okay, I'll just go around. No, this isn't gonna work.
Yeah.
And then, like every time I tried to hit R to cancel it, he bumped into me, so the R got eaten. So
Typical body too.
I was like, oh no. But then like once I got to Vadi 3, I took a save for the first half, and then I was able to get into the manipulation and loop.
Yeah, your all your Vadi fights are actually pretty good, except for like that what you were just talking about, that one moment on Vadi 2 where you just look confused. You just like, oh, what do I do? Because you did 3 of your clones, and then you looked at like you realized that the purple thing was right there on the last, and you just kind of sat there like,
I was just hoping. Oh man, how's Chaotic doing?
He struggled a good bit on the spike key. He kept on getting hit by the spike, but right now he's doing the black dark nut.
Okay.
He is remembering the route though, which is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we said earlier, I mean, somebody said in chat that he hasn't ever done a complete run. He's only
Yeah.
just in practice. So, I mean, this is a pretty solid
This is
first
a
run.
decent time for a first run, definitely.
Yeah, he did a run up to Ocarina, and he was only like 2 minutes behind me during his practice last night. But he didn't finish it completely. And then this morning he was doing the second half and was doing pretty well.
So hopefully he sticks with it, because that's one of the things that I've always complained about when it comes to TMCs. I mean, we have a great community. It's just a small community.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the runners always disappear quickly again.
my mom burst in my room after I finished.
You
the
never
run.
disappear, Dangerous.
My mom came bursting into my room after the run and was talking about how
How insane your run was!
yeah, and then she was like talking about how great the commentary was, and that she really was happy about the whole thing completely. So you guys.
Oh, did you actually watch it too?
Yeah, she watched the whole thing
Oh,
apparently.
cool. That's
Well, see,
interesting.
I'm glad you told me that after. I would have been so nervous knowing
Yeah.
that mom was watching.
I didn't know she was gonna watch.
It's like, oh no, man, Blue's mom is watching. We're commentating this. I can't do this. I would have had to cancel.
You almost did anyway.
I had to go on a Pokemon journey, guys. Oh man. Oh, my legs hurt because I was just sitting across like the whole time, just leaning forward that whole run. Oh man. And then I got a 3 try on the portal items.
Yeah,
Oh.
you actually you did the quals perfectly. You just kept on messing up your bomb time a little bit.
Yeah, at least you didn't get the slow animation or anything.
Oh gosh,
Yeah.
that would have been awful. I think like one slow animation is like the equivalent of all 3 of those mess ups.
Yeah, that's what we were sitting there saying, is the slow animation. It's unbelievable how much time it wastes.
Oh man.
Quiet down, Hope.
I actually played a lot too, so he's not wrong.
Well, see, okay, I'm actually really glad though too, because I was trying not to cuss as much as possible. I did let one cuss word.
Yeah,
slip.
I was actually really surprised.
I'm
To be honest.
my goodness, you know how hard this was for me to not cuss. Same thing with AGDQ. When I was at AGDQ, I was so focused on not cussing. So now that I know your mom was watching Blue, I'm even more happy that I wasn't cussing. I don't want Blue to have to stop speedrunning TMC, because like everybody that speedruns it, just they have a mouth of a sailor.
It's like, Mom, you just don't understand. I'm going fast.
Ace forgot to get the boss key, by the way.
Yeah, I just saw that. Well, luckily, I mean, he realized what was wrong and he's fixing it.
Yeah, it's not really that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Oh wow, he had a pretty good beginning. Oh, he has completely different splits than me, so I can't compare.
He will probably struggle quite a bit with 3 Dark Knight fights.
Yeah, I was trying to do the capes, and then I just said bump it and just took out the bombs.
You got the quick kill though on the Black Guard Dark
Yeah.
Knight.
Oh, so
Got
happy about that.
Yeah, I got a chuckle out of your triple dark knight fight because you pulled out a bomb and threw it at the last one and killed it. Like it was that low on HP. And you just took out a bomb and hit it. I'm like, "Oh, that's one way to do it."
Screw the rules.
I actually had no idea until I was watching Chaotic Aces practice that you can actually grab those pots before they spawn, the bottom pots.
Yeah, you have to walk up to the like he just did it right there. You have to walk forward after the cutscene.
And he's of course also not doing the manipulation.
Oh
The
no!
manipulation is a lot more difficult for newer runners because the movement has to be pretty precise.
Yeah. So that was unfortunate for Ace. He got the black dark nut to charge, and then he got stuck in the middle of the two red dark nuts.
He jumped it a little bit too late.
You know what the worst thing about this race, though, Toads?
Huh?
All the other races, the commentary won't be nearly as good. we should have saved this combo for last, man.
Probably. Damn.
Yeah, I was really flattered when I heard that the Toadswoots and the Atros, the legend, were commentating on the race that I was going to be, and I was like, oh gosh, I gotta get my stuff together.
Well, you apparently did, man. That's
Yeah, you
That's
really
all it
did.
took.
Oh jeez, like I was so nervous for this, like the entire day. I just had the portal items up. Oh no.
See, if that's all it took for you to PB by 3 minutes and 5, dude, me and Toads would have got together more often and commentated your runs.
Like you two
One
just
step
hovering
closer
over.
to cuddling with Atros.
Oh no! Please tell me he has a fairy. No.
Nah, he already used it in Palace
Yeah,
of
that's
Winds.
right. He used it on the black dark nut earlier.
Oh, he doesn't remember that there's a fairy downstairs.
He almost had that the triple dark nut fight too. Like the black dark nut
Yeah.
was probably 1 or 2 hits left, and he died.
Yeah.
He jumped 1 frame too late because he was or he got hit while he was jumping, which means it's on the same frame the Dark Knight attacked, so it's pretty unlucky. He's actually going to get the heart piece there. That's interesting. Farming the pots in the boss key room would probably be a lot faster.
Yeah. I mean, that's an interesting way to heal up, though. I actually forgot that heartbeat was
Yeah, I
in
never
there.
thought about that. I mean, I know about the heart piece because of 100%, but
Yeah. I mean, I knew that was there. I just forgot. You know, like,
yeah, obviously.
one time in my life, I knew that was there. Oh, and he got hit by the Keatons too. It's just everything's like not going Ace's way this run.
Yeah, the end of the run is pretty difficult for new runners because the enemies do a lot of damage, and you don't have that many hearts. You only grab the heart containers from the bosses. So you also don't have any sword upgrades except for the spin attack.
Or the defense.
So you
boost.
you don't have much to work with. And 100%, this is so easy. Like everything is just so easy because you have all the sword techniques, and everything is a lot faster and a lot easier.
Ooh, he got a lot of hits in there.
Yeah, the 100% watching the fights is just hysterical because the sword spin thing, you just spin all over the place. I love watching that attack. It's the goofiest thing in the world, but it does so much damage.
You use it in a Keaton room too. You just clone and then charge a sword and spin your way through the Keatons. It's pretty fun.
If it wasn't for the kin stones, even though there is a RNG manipulation for the figurines, it's still just so much time and shit. Or shoot, that's two. Never mind, I'm at 2 slip now.
You're right
But
there.
Blue's mom isn't watching anymore.
We're doing so well too.
I know, but there's so much to 100%. That's the reason I've never wanted to run it. But it is a cool run overall, and the attacks that you get that you don't get to see here, it just makes it really worth it. Because there's a lot to this game that you don't see with any percent, and he did a lot better with that fight.
Yeah, he did really good.
He went from, I think he was like almost full health. I think his last heart was at like a 1/4 instead of full, and he only got hit like 4 times or something. So he did really good that fight.
Hundo tournament win? Probably never, because there aren't that many 100% runners.
Yeah, there's, to my knowledge, throughout like all of the time of 100%, there's only been like maybe 6 or 7 people that I know that ran 100%.
Yeah.
Like, not a whole lot of people have ran it.
Well, the route now is a lot better than it used to be, because of the great way to farm kinstones.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's the thing too, is 100% is a lot better. If anybody wants to get in 100%, now would be the time to do it compared to before, because the kinstones used to be like 2 hours, or not the kinstones, the figurines used to be like 2 hours or something, and now I think it's like 40 minutes or something.
40 minutes, yeah.
I mean, that's still an insane amount of time to do figurines, but 40 minutes compared to like 2 hours that it used to be, and it was pure RNG. It's crazy.
He's got a good amount of health going into Vadi too.
Yeah, hopefully he won't get trolled too much. Body 2 is always a disaster. The interesting thing with the dark manipulation, by the way, is that Vadi 1 will most likely give you a pretty good pattern too, if you don't take too long during the Darknet fight. So that's something else why the Darknet manipulation is kind of worth going for.
I still want the Taz of this fight to be possible. If the Taz for this fight is if you roll inside Vadi and then turn around while you're inside of him and turn an attack, your sword slash will actually, because how it sweeps, it'll actually hit all 4 of the eyeballs. So you never have to clone yourself.
Yeah.
It's insane. I've never seen anybody do it RTA. I'd say it's possible, but it requires a lot of input really quick, because you got to be able to roll inside of them, turn, and attack in like a short amount of time before you get pushed around inside of them.
You can also use the dash attack to do this fight cloneless. Obviously, you would have to get Potbreaker and the dash attack for that, but it would technically save a little bit of time, but it's also very, very inconsistent, so no one really does it. Sorry,
Yeah.
Hulk.
I actually, one day I was theorizing whether it'd be faster to get the Potbreaker attack.
Yeah, a lot of people were wondering about that.
Because it's not like it's out of your way or anything, and you have to destroy a few pods throughout the run, so I still think it could be faster. I'd like to see
Cole
somebody do
actually timed it.
Did he?
It is slower. Not by much, but it is slower.
Yeah, it doesn't really surprise me. It'd be cool to do. Like I said, there's so many different attacks in this game.
Yeah.
So much stuff that we don't actually get to see in any percent, so seeing a little bit more of it would be nice.
You got an extra cycle. Vadi 2 is really trolling him.
Yeah.
That's not cool.
That's Vadi 2
That's
for you.
very typical, yeah.
You just know that there's going to be plenty of races that it's going to come down to Vadi 2.
You can really tell if a Vadi 2 fight was good or normal.
And speaking of Vadi and RNG, you actually got some pretty good Vadi 3 RNG too, because I know a lot of the times whenever I'm fighting him, he loves to swing his arm around like 30 times and do all this. Like you just went around him and he pretty much immediately put his arm into the ground.
Yeah, I was surprised about that. Because I rolled through him to go onto the Minish portal for invincibility, but he already put his arm in, so I was like, oh, okay. Alright, he's on Vadi 3 now.
It wasn't a bad fight overall. I mean, he got trolled a good bit by Vadi. He's 230 right now, getting ready to head to Vadi 3. For his first complete run, this is actually still a pretty good time. Most
Yeah.
people.
He died to the Darknet, so.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I mean, yeah, if you take that into account, this is a really good run. Most people, their first run was 230, 240, something around that, maybe a little bit later,
Yeah.
and that's without like any deaths or something. So.
I don't know what EDT is.
EDT is actually EST as well. I don't know why it's labeled as EDT. Too. Like I don't understand why they're, different. But I've looked it up before, and they're the exact same time.
Well, it's actually a pretty good time for me to do commentary.
It's apparently Eastern Daylight Time and Eastern Standard Time, but it's the same time.
Too many time zones.
Yeah, exactly. We don't have enough already. We need more.
Germany only has one, so.
A good time for new runner to get that varies. It really depends on how much practice you put in. My very first run, for example, was around 230, but I did like every dungeon multiple times. I did all the stuff up to the dungeon multiple times, so my first run wasn't, like I was actually playing the game for the first time. It depends on how much practice you put into everything individually first. But
my first run was actually pretty good. It was a 216, but then my second run, I couldn't finish my second run because I couldn't finish Wadi 3. I couldn't defeat him. And my third run was a 230, so very inconsistent.
For first run, sub 3 would be... Yeah, sub 3 first run would be good. Like I said, it really depends on how much time you put into it, though. If you put a lot of time into practice, then I'd say sub 3. Depending on how... If it was barely sub 3, or if it was like, 2 hours, 10 minutes. Yeah. It really depends on the time you put in.
On my when I was learning the game, I basically just had a closed tutorial up, and I was just going through it and like practicing what I wanted to through it, and just like going through it, and then just do one run complete after that, which was like 3 hours 10 minutes, and then my second run through was like 240 something.
So yeah, that's the hardest thing about speedrunning a game, is just getting the route down. After you get that, it's just slowly shaving time off.
Yeah. And then like once you get those thresholds, you can consistently get it after that.
Oh, he got the left side of the blue balls to bounce to the right. This is a very, very, very annoying fight, because it seems like most of the time you feel like you're lined up perfectly, but you still hit, a ball to the left or right. And now Body's trolling him because he keeps bouncing to the right.
Actually, a lot more precise than you would think.
Yeah.
And I feel bad for Ace because he got trolled pretty bad right there, because Body kept on bouncing to the right and he kept on dodging to the left, which is, when you're cloned, you can't really dodge anywhere else. So he had to keep dodging out to the left, and Body just kept on bouncing to the right.
This is basically my PB.
Oh yeah, because he went too far, and you're like, oh come on.
So sad.
Ah. Yeah, I mean, it's really weird too, because you'd think that Nintendo, Capcom, they wouldn't make it that precise to knock it back, but you've got to be pretty lined up to get this back.
Capcom is just mean, though. They also made this game very solid in terms of glitches. Or somewhat solid. I mean, there are still quite a few glitches in this game, just none of them are that useful.
And then like once you get off the like loop and cycle, then it's really hard to get back on.
Yeah, we were talking about that. We were talking about the RNG manipulation of this fight. And even though there is one, man, if you mess it up, like, it's just so hard to get it back. Because he likes just trolling after he gets his way. Alright, one more set. Ace, you got this.
He got it. Whew. All right, I'm gonna get out so that he can come in.
All right.
All right. Thanks a ton, guys. By the way.
Good run, man. Congratulations.
Thanks.
And Ace finishes with a 234.39. I mean,
too
again,
bad.
this is his first complete run. He died once.
Yeah.
I mean,
And-
all in all, that was a really good run.
Body was really trolly too.
Yeah.
This game has crappy bosses, he says.
Oh, absolutely.
Can't really disagree.
Well, I mean, you can try, but then you know you'd be a liar.
Yeah. Hey, Desert Penguin. Don't worry, this was just the first race out of many, I guess.
Yeah, there's going to be quite a bit. I mean, we have how many? Like 20-some participants, and then we also
Yeah.
got a losers bracket. So, you know, you have to lose twice to get, you know, knocked out of the tournament. So this could be quite a bit of races overall.
My voice can't do this.
Yeah, 26 participants, and you know, it's 2 losses and you're out. So yeah, it's going to be quite a few races.
I'm not sure if Ace wants to join the Discord. He doesn't seem to have Discord open.
See, Falco's looking out for you. He's trying to get somebody to get you some water.
Thank you, Falco.
And apparently he turned into a doctor too, because he said stat. So.
I actually have water here, but it's not helping.
Yeah, when you're talking pretty much straight for 2.5 hours, it wears you out, dude.
Yeah. Good practice though for the next races, because I had trouble explaining a lot of things.
And well, see, what's crazy is like it doesn't feel like there's a whole lot to explain on Minish Cap.
Yeah.
But it feels like while you're in the middle of explaining something, there's like 2 or 3 things happening that you want to explain. It's like, oh crap, I gotta pick up the pace a little bit.
It's just really the beginning of the run that is kind of...
Yeah, it's boring. Like there's nothing to do at the
Yeah.
beginning of the race. You sit there and watch people roll around.
basically.
Ace says that he does not want to join us and talk about his run, so I guess that's going to be it for us.
Yeah, but that's fine, obviously.
Yeah,
Still not a bad run for his first run.
yep. So that's going to be it for us, guys. The next race will be Thursday at 11 a.m. EDT. It's going to be Flames Olsen versus Arise Fairmoon. So if you guys are available, that's the next race is going to be. Obviously, you guys are going to be available because you want to watch TMC races. I mean, I don't even know why I'm saying if you're available. You guys are obviously, going to take time off of work, going to call in
Obviously.
sick, whatever's necessary.
Need to watch it.
I think, I'm gonna put an ice pack on my throat.
Same. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the commentary and it wasn't too bad to listen to my explanations.
But more importantly, I hope you guys enjoyed the runs because that's
Yeah,
what we're here for. Blue took the win over Ace, but I mean they were both great runs. I mean Blue PB'd by 3 minutes and 5. Ace, that was his first complete run, and he got a little over 2:30. I mean, wasn't a bad run at all, especially with the death. So
Yeah,
you
not
know,
at all.
I'm hoping to see these guys, improve their time by quite a bit on the next few races. I'm excited to see these two race again, man. Because they
Yeah,
both
me
had,
too.
yeah, with Blue doing as well as he did, and Ace, that was his first run. He can only get better from here. So I'm really excited to see their next race.